properly, if somebody's throat isn't working properly, they're not breathing properly. And when you don't breathe properly, it creates problems for your body.
When you breathe well, you live better. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment today.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Need a kitchen remodel guy, paint guy, gutter guy? No, you don't. J&J Contractors do it all, using high-quality materials for your interior and exterior needs. Just Google J&J Contractors.
We hope they learned their lesson from opening day.
He just hit one out of here with the bases loaded. And this one is over.
The Brewers are in Queens against the Mets, with coverage starting today at 5:35 on News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 3 o'clock. I'm John Merkier. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News, your top story getting ready for the state of the city.
I'm Sandy Mex, unraveling the weekend of chaos in Russia.
I'm Greg Matzik. Did the Crosbys jump the gun?
Lazaga. Well, we do have some delays along southbound 43, stretching from Good Hope Road all the way down past Locust. So be prepared for that. Right now, from Brown Deer Road to downtown's a half an hour. Southbound on 41 also going to be heavy from about Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. Starts to let up by the time you get to about Burleigh. So far, so good. It's about 19 minutes, though, from Highway Q to the Sioux. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
And traffic sponsored by J&J Contractors. Your forecast tonight, showers end a low 61. Tomorrow, decreasing clouds, breezy. High of 83 inland, a little cooler along the lake. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson is doubling down on his and the city's efforts to remove lead water lines and laterals from homes across the city. Johnson telling TMJ4 News he's going to direct the city to speed up the line removals.
My administration's desire to remove lead laterals in Milwaukee on a much expedited basis.
And what will that timeline be?
That timeline will be 20 years. 20 years as opposed to the 60 to 70 years that we originally had outlined for this.
Since 2017, Milwaukee's been replacing lead lines that are connected to homes at about 1,000 a year. There's still roughly 65,000 homes with lead laterals in Milwaukee.
The Milwaukee Common Council Steering and Rules Committee meeting today, getting the ball rolling on tackling the sales tax. The council also dissatisfied with the other provisions in the law restricting Milwaukee. State Representative Marisabel Cabrera testifying at the meeting.
I immediately started researching a whole lot on litigation because of that, because it's not only enshrined in our state statutes, but also in our state constitution that when it comes to legislation that is primarily local affairs, that it is left to the local governments.
The committee passed a resolution ordering a legal review of provisions in the law relating specifically to the city.
The U.S. is still trying to understand what happened with this weekend's attempted military rebellion in Russia.
The U.S. quickly pushed back on a Russian claim that the U.S. had anything to do with the military mutiny.
We made clear that we were not involved. We had nothing to do with it. This was part of a struggle within the Russian system.
President Biden not sure what this means for Putin's control in Russia or its continued invasion of Ukraine. Andy Field, ABC News, Washington.
A 7-year-old boy shot and wounded in Milwaukee overnight. Police say the boy was shot around 9:45 near 22nd and Orchard on the city's south side. The circumstances leading up to the shooting are still under investigation. However, Milwaukee police did confirm the boy's 37-year-old mother was taken into custody.
A condemned condo building in Waukesha could be torn down as soon as October. Residents were forced out of the condo near downtown Waukesha in late 2021 after storms blew off chunks of fascia, unveiling structural issues in the high-rise. According to court filings, residents are still in court trying to get their insurance company to pay for demolition. If a decision doesn't come by the end of September, the city could tear it down, then charge condo owners through a tax lien.
The Brewers take momentum west to New York. Greg Matzik explains next in sports.
Citing unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:04.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it all when you shop at St. Vincent de Paul. Old things, new things here for you. We're always changing. We're always new. So many friendly people, smiles from wall to wall. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
The
Briley bedroom at Penny Mustard is my best friend.
You're best friends with a bedroom?
Don't be fooled by Briley's sweet, soft, gentle curves. She can be singing lullabies 1 minute and preparing for battle the next.
Briley is the opposite of cookie cutter.
Can Briley be my BFF too?
Come meet the Briley Bedroom Collection, Sophista-crafted in the USA, with queen bed, 8-drawer dresser, mirror, and nightstand, starting at $91.44 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Don't give in to that constant joint pain. Take control. Take back your quality of life today with help from QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Greg Matzik. QC Kinetics is helping people every day here in Milwaukee and across the country with their amazing non-surgical treatments that repair and restore damaged joint tissue. They use the latest advances in regenerative medicine, taking your own body's healing agents and concentrating them right in the area where you have the agonizing pain. It's incredible and a non-invasive approach that will help you take back control of your body, relieving the pain in knees, hips, shoulder, or back. No invasive surgery, no harmful drugs or steroids, and no downtime. Hey, summertime should be about having fun, making memories. Take control now and start living pain-free again. Call now for a free consultation with QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
All right, so what was that tease that I left for you, Sandy, to read about where the Brewers are traveling to and where they're playing?
Geographically inaccurate.
Yes, it was. Now, behind the scenes here at Wisconsin's Afternoon News, I am the one who typed and wrote that artistic tease saying the Brewers are heading west. And maybe they did travel west from Cleveland to L.A. to Hawaii to Fiji.
They could have.
To Tokyo and then eventually into New York. It's not a bad way to go. And given the way the airlines work these days, more than likely, you'll have to travel that way if you want to get from Cleveland to New York.
But see, that's how much I trust you. I just read it with vim and vigor and enthusiasm.
You read it like you meant it.
I did,
It would be logical, yes, for the Brewers to hop on a team-chartered plane and go east, but maybe, just maybe, they had to travel west.
Could be.
We'll ask Lane
to
Gribble
avoid the
coming up in
Canadian
the 4 o'clock
wildfire
hour.
smoke.
So thank you for all you geography majors who have clued us into my lack of geographical understanding. The Brewers begin a 4-game series, I should say, against the Mets tonight. Our coverage gets underway at 5:35. Hey, remember back in May when Mason Crosby's wife indicated his time with the Packers was over?
Yeah.
There was a whole tweet, and the Olympic gymnast Simone Biles was involved. So I ever wondered about Mason's view of that situation?
I texted her because I started getting texts from, from people just like, why, so you're not coming back, like all these things. And I'm just like, well, I mean, I don't know where this is coming from. And then I start kind of, digging a little deeper and I see how she did it. I mean, it was like the perfect tweet where it was tagged it was in response to the Packers, Simone Biles, like how she put it out there. It just went into the world.
Sure did. Yes, it did. That was Mason's view. He says he's staying ready. They're living in Tennessee right now, and it's possible he'll join a team for training camp, maybe on the fly, but he does want to kick. He made that clear in an interview with Wilde and Tausch.
Wow. All right, good stuff. More on this as we head through the afternoon. The 3 at 3 up next on WTMJ.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Your pain is likely due to a wear and tear process called osteoarthritis. Now, when you combine that with being a little overweight or not being as active as you'd like to be, you get into a downward pain spiral. At Rejuvenex, we control pain by precisely targeting and treating the areas where your pain lives, like shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, with our powerful FDA-approved treatments that cushion and lubricate the affected areas to deliver long-lasting pain relief. Now, like maintenance on a car, to maintain your relief, our team of physicians will follow up with you roughly every 6 to 18 months. My name is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics. Rejuvenex is in-network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief, really.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Off Mosquito Repellent, a clean feel so you can accessorize without mosquitoes. You can wear classic whites and jeans and know what you're covered with 8 hours of not sticky, fragrance-free protection. S.C. Johnson.
This is Jim Griffin with Summer Service Specials. We'll change your oil, inspect and rotate your tires, check the battery and air filter, give it a complete multi-point inspection, check your AC, and even change your wiper blades, all for $129.95. Good at all 5 Griffin dealerships. Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
Hey, hope your Monday is going absolutely fantastic. Thanks for spending part of it with us. Sandy Max is here, so is Greg Matzik. We've also got Debbie Lozga on your roads. Adam Roberts is producing the show. I think every producer in the building is in the producer booth right now. We got a lot of people.
It's a producer party.
Busy in the kitchen here, John. Yeah, you got snacks in there, snacks, music. I've never seen the lights as bright. Who brought the snacks? No. Charlie, Sam, Tony, nobody? Okay.
That usually means something isn't working, and we're about to find out what it is.
They're always the last to know.
Stay tuned.
That's true. All right, let's get to it today.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
All right, Sandy, where do we start?
An unfortunate end to Greek Fest Saturday night after a series of fights resulted in multiple arrests.
So an unfortunate series of events on Saturday night leads to unfortunate closing early on Saturday and Sunday. Out at State Fair Park, a bunch of fights break out, multiple arrests. Several people were kicked out of Greek Fest. So they shut down a couple of hours early, and then they decided to shut down early on Sunday night just to be proactive. Rides were closed, and the whole place shut down at 6 o'clock. As the fights broke out. This, of course, comes after fights and a shooting at Juneteenth, which comes after fights at the St. John Vianney Festival in Brookfield. We're going to have much more on this coming up later this afternoon. A discussion, some possible solutions, and give you the chance to weigh in on what the heck is going on with these fights at all these festivals. We'll do that coming up during the 5 o'clock hour. All right, what's next?
As crews continue to salvage the wreck of the Titan submersible, one well-known YouTuber claims he was offered a spot on the doomed voyage.
Yeah, Mr. Beast, the YouTuber. I think he's the most popular YouTuber that there is. And so he says, you know what? I was offered a ride, and I passed on it. I was invited to join explorers on the Titan, but I turned down the offer. I was kind of scared right now that I could have been on it when I stop and think about it, is what he said. He didn't say specifically if it was on this trip, because the submersible has had other trips scheduled, but this kind of reminds me of a lot of celebrities came out and said that they are scheduled to be in the Twin Towers on 9/11, or they say that they were at Lambeau Field for the Ice Bowl. We'll never really know if he actually was scheduled, but Mr. Beast, I still can't figure out what this guy does exactly, but he says he was supposed to be on that ill-fated Titanic submersible trip.
He does a lot of good deeds that get him viral views.
He does a lot of philanthropy, you're right.
But yeah, there are, Rolling Stone magazine said that this is kind of the hot new trend, and that at least half a dozen other people, whether they're influencers or just famous people or big people on social media, are saying, yeah, you know, I did too. Mr. Beast, though, either produced receipts, as they say on those housewife shows. He had supposedly a text message that said, you can join us.
Okay. What's the third thing?
There we go. Let's go local. A new Miss Wisconsin was crowned this weekend.
Miss Rock River Valley.
How about that? Lila Sherry is the new Miss Wisconsin. She's from the central part of the state. She is awfully excited. We're trying to get her on the show coming up here, but congratulations to her. Of course, the last Miss Wisconsin went on to become Miss America. Grace Stanke, Miss America. So now we have a new Miss Wisconsin. That's all taken care of. Congratulations to her. It is 3:13 at WTMJ. Up next, Summerfest with the second year, I think it's the second year of their new format change. And what did we like about the first weekend? You can weigh in as well. You can always be part of the conversation. The Old National Bank talk and text line, 855-616-1620. 855-616-1620. Do you like this format where it's only on the weekends? Or do you miss the Tuesday, Wednesday kind of deal where you could go down there on those days? What do you think? 855-616-1620, Old National Bank. Get old.
Couldn't make it to the game?
Here, try this.
If you live in Milwaukee, Racine, Waukesha, Ozaukee, or Washington County, you can stream Bob Uecker and the Brewers on your phone, tablet, or computer.
Struck him out looking.
Using the WTMJ app or at WTMJ.com.
A little different from when you played, Uke. Yeah, those big old payphones we had. Ah, man.
John Mercure here for the famous Fox and Hounds. One of my very favorite places, the Historic Restaurant, was recently voted the best supper club in the area, the best. It first opened in 1933, and they've been serving fabulous dinners for 90 years in that rustic timber building. It's absolutely beautiful. They've got the beer garden in the woods. That is a sweet spot. And when you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free 7 days a week. Fridays, Saturdays, prime rib, buy one, get one free. The steak and lobster, buy one, get one free. Any dinner on the menu, your second one is free. No coupons, no gimmicks. You put your seats in the seats, and half of you get your dinners for free. Made from scratch desserts are also buy one, get one free at a Manhattan, old-fashioned, or from over 100 wines to accent your dinner. Family-owned, unique and affordable, the best supper club in Wisconsin, voted on. It's true. Just off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. The summer drive is spectacular, and I love that beer garden. Brighten up your Monday or Tuesday with a free dinner tonight. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. I always thought Vince Lombardi came up with that famous sports nugget, but it turns out he borrowed it from a college coach. And now I'm going to borrow it too, because when there are 10 or 20 offers on a property, there's only one winner. In today's inventory-starved real estate market, you need a Lombardi-level mortgage coach, one who has all the best plays in the playbook. Going with your bank for your pre-approval is like playing in a professional playoff game with the JV coach at the helm. The Lombardi-level coaches at AccuNet are called senior loan consultants, and each one has been trained by me to help you and your real estate agent work as one team to deliver the one and only thing that matters, winning. So if you've been losing with your flimsy bank pre-approval, trade up today to a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and a Lombardi-level game plan. And if you're just getting started, why not start with the best? Click on the blue button today and get started with your winning game plan at ACCUNET.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic and weather. All right, Debbie, how we doing?
Well, we're a little bit slow, John. Around southbound 43, pretty much what you'd expect with the wet roads and everything. We got some slowdowns through the construction zones, just south of Good Hope Road, all the way down past Locust. So watch out for about a 24-minute ride there from Brown Deer Road into downtown. Southbound on 41 backed up a little bit from Silver Spring all the way down almost to Burleigh. It's about 18 minutes to get from Highway Q to the zoo. Rest of the system looking pretty good, but heads up off the freeway system. The intersection of 76th and Florist looks like it's all tied up with a really nasty accident, so just try and stay away from that area if you can. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Showers are going to end tonight, then cloudy, low of 61. Tomorrow, decreasing clouds, a high of 83. Wednesday, sunshine, a high of 83. Thursday and Friday, both days, another shot at rain. Both days, highs of about 84 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, now some of that hazy smoke mixing in with the rain, and it's 65 degrees. The first weekend of Summerfest is in the books. And it was fantastic. Fantastic weather. Maybe the best weather they've ever had for 3 days in a row at Summerfest.
I agree, because that breeze was just light and nice. It wasn't, sometimes the wind shifts off the lake and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, it was so good. So, it's been a couple of years now since they've changed the format. And it sounds like it is here to stay if you listen to Sarah Smith-Pancari and other leaders at Summerfest. What do you think of the change in format? 855-616-1620, that's the Old National Bank talk and text line. What do you think? Do you like it, or do you miss there being a couple days in the middle of the week where you could go down there? They say they like it, organizers do, because they say there's a bigger booking window. Now they can route tours through over 3 weeks versus over 10 days. So they say it gives them options. I'm not so sure about that. I think one way it does give them options, but could it also be that because now they're only booking Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that the really big groups are likely to go to Chicago or Minneapolis and kind of skip over us, whereas before they could kind of slide in here for an extra date on a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
Right, so you no longer have the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday option for an artist that might be performing in Chicago or who knows where on Thursday or Friday.
Right, where they could just kind of pop in here. What do you think? 855-616-1620. I think I like it. Now, I did like Tuesday and Wednesday, especially when my kids were younger. I liked it because we would, when I first moved to Milwaukee, we would sometimes take off the Tuesday or the Wednesday, and we would go down there with the kids. You go down during the day. It was easy. And now that's kind of disappeared. I mean, you could do that on Thursday or Friday, but I liked that there was a day where it was a little quieter to be down there. But I also do like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think they've got it kind of figured out. I sound really wishy-washy, don't I?
But I think because I've been such a Summerfest fan for so long and such a music fan that I'm still kind of in that rhythm. I'm like, okay, let's go every single day.
Yeah.
And we go 9 of 11 days. I think the one thing I do miss is the option to be there on a Sunday. I miss Sunday because I felt like only the last Sunday was the one where it's like, oh, it's all local bands. It's like, okay, they've exhausted themselves. But I do miss the chance to hang out at Summerfest on Sunday. I don't know that I would go Tuesday or Wednesday as much.
Well, apparently not enough people were going on Tuesday and Wednesday, and that's what prompted the change. So Summerfest has always been pretty consistent about it. It used to be about, let's get 1 million fans down there. And then it was like, let's get a higher quality of fan, one that's going to spend the day there and grab some food and grab a couple beers. And it's not about just being shoulder to shoulder with somebody walking through, by the Miller Oasis. It's more about spacing it out but enjoying your time. I think that's what prompted the change. Now, my wonder is, the lack of crowds on a Tuesday or Wednesday that prompted the change, is it being uplifted enough by the crowd on Thursday, Friday, Saturday in 3 consecutive weeks?
Well, and I think it was a combination. I think they said primarily at the beginning it was because of the pandemic was why they switched. Gave them more time to clean the grounds, to spread things out. And now I think, to your point, they've realized that there probably aren't big crowds on Tuesday and Wednesday. So, because they got rid of Monday a few years ago before they made this schedule change. Remember, they eventually got rid of the Monday?
Mm-hmm. Right.
What do you think? 855-616-1620. Let's go to Steve, who's in Oak Creek. Steve, good afternoon. You're on WTMJ.
Good afternoon, and I like the new format, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I just wish they would add Sunday, so we had, then we would have 4 days over 3 weekends for 12 days in total, because you just can't get enough of Summerfest.
I like the way you think, Steve. I like
do
that.
Too. I like that, too, because now we're at 9 days, and it almost feels like not quite enough, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. 12 days would be great.
Hey, Steve, thank you very much for the phone call. So what did you think of these first 3 days? I liked it. I was there Friday. I saw Sandy. I hung out with Sandy a little bit after the show, wandering around. The crowd was good. The weather was great.
Well, I watched Brew City Wrestling.
Yeah, you were the most excited wrestling fan that I saw there.
Got to watch the Yeti win again. The Yeti, put your money on the Yeti in Brew City Wrestling. It was very fun. But yes, it was nice to visit, and that's what I love about Summerfest. I bumped into so many people I hadn't seen in a while.
I love that too.
Just strolling and enjoying music.
So I checked these guys out on Friday. Fitz and the Tantrums was incredible. They were at the U-Line stage.
On the north end, yeah.
I love that stage. It's the furthest one, so it's kind of out of the way, but it's tucked in there, and they had an incredible crowd. Everybody was singing and dancing and standing on the bleachers. I love it when you go and see somebody like I knew this one song, and I was like, what else did they do? And then you heard like 3 or 4 other songs, like, oh, that's right, they did that song. That's right, they did that song. And then you find yourself dancing to songs that you don't know at all, but it's just fun. You got your cocktail.
That's the beauty of live music outside. And I will tell you that at the U-Line stage in particular, they have figured out the sound system there very well. So you can stand all the way towards the back at the lake where that gate, where the Iron Gate is, and you can still hear really well. Where sometimes it's like, oh, well then, I need to get close.
And to that point, so that the next stage closest to that is the U.S. Cellular Connection stage.
Mm-hmm.
So Fitz and the Tantrums were doing their thing, which you just heard. Poppy, they were right there on that stage. You left that stage, and within 2 minutes, you were kind of near the Connection stage, and Queensryche was there. full-on metal blasting. But when you were at the Uline stage, you had no idea that was happening right next door. It's incredible when you think about these grounds and what they've done. They get thousands of people at these stages, but it's separated so much that you would never even know it. It's incredible.
You're steps away from
the engineering.
from heavy metal to, I don't think Queensryche is heavy metal, but from metal to...
It's pretty metal.
Oh, you saw the lighters with Silent Lucidity up in the air.
Really?
No doubt about that.
It's really heavy.
I'm always fascinated and we work in a fun place where there's a lot of different people from different states and regions. I love it when nobody really understands Summerfest, and then I try and explain it to them, and then they make me pause. They're like, wait, what? Wait, you just walk around and see, here's the list. You get Fits in the Tantrums, and then Queensryche, and then if you want to get tickets to Eric Church, you go see him.
Yeah, it was Miller Lite Oasis, and it was all EDM.
It's
so
just like,
there's
wait,
EDM
what?
on that stage.
And I'm going to tell you, I wanted to clone myself on Saturday night. I think I told you this. So I saw the very beginning of Elvis Costello at the BMO Harris Pavilion, all the way at the south end, and then I wanted to see Lyle Lovett. And I was able to get from one end to the other. I'm an experienced Lollapalooza person. Oi.
Yep.
I was able to get from one end to the other in probably 5 minutes.
It is amazing.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, if even.
Let's go to Paul, who's in Milwaukee. Paul, good afternoon. You're on WTMJ. What do you think?
I kind of don't like it because there's so much stuff going on in the weekends. In fact, like, say, graduation parties, weddings, and just to have them midweek things was just perfect. And say a Sundays. I actually really miss the Sundays also. But otherwise, I'm going to deal with it because I love Summerfest. So they got me regardless.
Yep, I feel the same way, Paul. Thank you very much for the phone call. Let us know how you feel. 855-616-1620. Hey, coming up after the news, something nice on this Monday. First, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the red, the NASDAQ especially slipping as tech struggles to start first half's final week. Here's how they ended up. All the indices in the red. The S&P 500 was off 20 points to close at 43.28. The Dow was down 13 to close at 33,714. The NASDAQ dropped 157 points. That's more than 1% to close at 13,335. Russell 2000 up. Crude oil prices up. So were the prices for gold and silver. That 10-year Treasury bond dropped a little bit as well. It's time to calibrate your plan. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button today. That is Annex Wealth Management.
Like it or not, you are a media-consuming machine, chased all day by headlines, texts, emails, on the TV, the computer, the phone, even your smartwatch. News about market volatility and uncertainty could lead to anxiety and planning paralysis. No surprise, Americans report increased stress about their investment and retirement plans. This isn't a time to be frozen in place. Take action. Put Annex Wealth Management on your side. Build a plan that will help cut through the noise. We'll provide comprehensive investment and retirement guidance that includes tax and estate planning. Let Annex do a deep dive on your portfolio, offer unbiased advice with Wealth Metric, and work to create a solid plan for you and your family. Turn down the media roar. Dial up the planning. Head to AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button. It takes only a couple of minutes. Set your own appointment. In person or online, it's time to take action and know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management. AnnexWealth.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Sister Bay Furniture. Summer is finally here. Time to fire up the grill for some quality outdoor time with friends and family, and everyone will enjoy relaxing on your Sister Bay Furniture. Sister Bay Furniture is premium, high-quality outdoor furniture built in Wisconsin, built for Wisconsin. Premium, sustainable materials designed to survive years of Wisconsin weather. That's commercial-grade quality for your outdoor space. Customize your Sister Bay furniture set. Pick from several different styles and colors to fit your unique outdoor space. Need professional help? Sister Bay Furniture has a team of in-house design experts. They can help you plan and create the outdoor space of your dreams. Right now, when you go to Sister Bay Furniture, tell them Vince Vitrano from WTMJ sent you, and you get an additional 10% off already reduced prices, including ready-to-take-home sets. You visit the website to shop ahead, sisterbayfurniture.com, to see the entire selection. That's sisterbayfurniture.com.
Don't think twice. Call Dice. Garage door broke. Do it right. Don't think twice. Call Dice. Need a new garage door? Do it right. Don't think twice. Call Dice.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new CHI maintenance-free garage door. In fact, a recent study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%, ranking number 1 among all home improvement projects. To see our huge selection of doors, come visit us at our Brookfield location or view our online showroom at geistdoors.com. We have everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, call Geist at 262-784-4250 or visit us online at geistdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geist. Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Traffic is sponsored by Smart Spaces. Adapt to the modern workplace. SmartSpacesWI.com.
How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
Creating technology, great culture, spaces that people really want to come to, attract talent, and keep that talent.
SmartSpacesWI.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: city leaders turn their attention to the sales tax.
I'm Sandy Max. A plea deal for the Colorado club shooter.
I'm Greg Matzik. The Bucks turn their sights to free agency.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We're still seeing some delays along southbound 43, pretty much from Good Hope Road all the way down to about Locust. So give yourself tons of extra time. It's a 25-minute ride from Brown Deer Road into the Marquette. Southbound on 41, backing up a bit just south of Appleton Avenue. That stretches all the way down past Capitol Drive. Once you get to Burleigh, it kind of opens up and you're in good shape. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, that rain will end, a low of 61 degrees. Tomorrow, decreasing clouds and breezy, a high of 83. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, it's still up for Common Council approval, but Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson knows he'd like to see the council spend any extra funding that will come to the city through an increased sales tax. Johnson telling TMJ4 News.
I want Milwaukee to be in a position where we preserve and increase police services. I want us to be a city where we preserve and increase fire service. And I want us to be a city where we continue to have libraries that are innovative and invite the youngest learners in Milwaukee in. That's what the sales tax will provide us an opportunity to do.
The shared revenue legislation was signed into law earlier this month. A total of 10 council members need to vote in favor of the legislation in order for it to go into effect. A vote could come next month.
The Milwaukee Common Council Steering and Rules Committee meeting today, getting the ball rolling on tackling the sales tax. The council also dissatisfied with the other provisions in the law restricting Milwaukee. State Representative Marisabel Cabrera testifying at the meeting.
I immediately started researching a whole lot on litigation because of that, because it's not only enshrined in our state statutes, but also in our state constitution that when it comes to legislation that is primarily local affairs, that it is left to the local governments.
The committee passed a resolution ordering a legal review of the provisions in the law relating specifically to the city.
The suspect in a mass shooting at an LGBTQ bar, Club Q in Colorado Springs, Colorado, that left 5 people dead, accepting a plea deal today. Anderson Lee Aldrich pleaded guilty to 5 counts of murder in the first degree, 46 counts of attempted murder in the first degree, and pled no contest to 2 bias-motivated crimes. District Attorney Michael Allen.
That is the longest sentence ever achieved in the 4th Judicial District, and the second, to my knowledge, longest sentence ever achieved in the state of Colorado, second only to the sentence achieved in the Aurora Theater shooting case.
Aldrich received 5 consecutive life sentences without the possibility for parole on the murder charges.
A 7-year-old boy shot and wounded in Milwaukee overnight. Police say the boy was shot around 9:45 near 22nd and Orchard on the city's south side. The circumstances leading up to the shooting are still under investigation. However, Milwaukee police have confirmed the boy's 37-year-old mother was taken into custody.
A 36-year-old Kenosha man who was the victim of a hit and run over the weekend was found dead on the side of the highway early Sunday morning. The Kenosha County Sheriff's Office says the man's body was found near Highway 158 and 88th Avenue about 2:30 Sunday morning. The Sheriff's Office says there were signs of a crash near the man's body and pieces of a vehicle were found nearby. No one is in custody.
A condemned condo building in Waukesha could be torn down as soon as October. Residents were forced out of the condo building near downtown Waukesha in late 2021 after storms blew off chunks of fascia, unveiling structural issues in the high-rise. According to court filings Friday, residents are still in court trying to get their insurance company to pay for demolition. If a decision doesn't come by the end of September, the city could tear it down, then charge condo owners through a tax lien.
The NBA clock ticks toward free agency. Greg explains up next in sports.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 3:34.
Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of their care. I was just in their place last week. Here's the basic deal. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia systems. They are the real deal. At Azura, it's about compassion and empathy. I know this is tough to talk about. You've got a loved one who needs help because their memory's failing, or you think they may have dementia, or they do have Alzheimer's. Azura is the place to go. If I had a family member in the area and they were suffering from this, there is no doubt Azura would be the place. I would take them. 4 locations in the Milwaukee area, 14 in the state of Wisconsin. My favorite aunt right now is in one of these places, and this is the place to be. I know I was just there. They're Wisconsin-based. They're family-owned. They're the real deal. It's all about taking care of your family like it's your own family if you work at Azura. AzuraLiving.com, that's the website, AzuraLiving.com.
When big national banks make a decision, it requires many emails, phone calls, and plenty of video conferences from around the globe. When we make a banking decision, we do it over a cup of coffee in our office. Finding a local bank that's passionate about the community and knows your name is hard to find these days.
Good morning, Diane. Welcome back.
The search is over.
Waterstone Bank, proud to be your local bank for over 100 years. Love your bank as much as we love this community. Waterstone Bank, Waukesha, Milwaukee, and Washington County.
Member FDIC.
It's a battle for NL Central bragging rights. Brewers, Cubs, Monday, July 3rd through Thursday, July 6th. Help defend American Family Field during this year's edition of the I-94 rivalry and celebrate the 4th of July at the ballpark, where kids and seniors can score half-price seats, courtesy of WPS Health Insurance. See the schedule and grab your seats today at brewers.com/promotions.
When a new baby is added to the mix, saving money becomes a real priority. Shopping at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores can help. With an abundance of baby clothing and toys, all thrift store priced at pennies on the dollar. You'll spend a little to get a lot. Find great deals on gently used baby clothes and toys at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
Well, the NBA draft is in the rearview mirror. Free agency begins June 30th. Unless the framework of a deal is worked out before then, Chris Middleton will test the free agent waters. Bucks GM John Horst makes the Bucks' position clear.
Chris is core to who we are and really all the success that we've had, and our goal is always to sustain our success and continue to compete and be in a chance to win, position to win year in and year out. And we hope to have him back.
Younger members of the Bucks roster will participate in the Vegas Summer League beginning July 7th. Former Packers kicker Mason Crosby has relocated to Tennessee and is staying ready for his next opportunity.
Yeah, I'm getting myself ready for training camp and feeling good. Excited for what this next opportunity holds, and we'll see what happens.
Crosby's a father of 5, appearing on Wilde and Tausch today on 94.5 ESPN. He explains what he might be looking for.
I think just the right situation. If something starts happening here before training camp with any teams that are looking to bring in a veteran guy to help there. I think the right situation, I would definitely jump on that. But for me, it's just I know how this thing works. I've seen it so many times. It might run into training camp. It could bump up right towards the season. Teams are evaluating who they have in the building, what they might have there. I've done it for a long time. I'm a known entity.
Hear the full interview online at WisconsinOnDemand.com. And the Brewers take on the Mets tonight in Game 1 of a 4-game series. Our coverage gets underway at 5:35. I have confirmed over the last half hour that New York is indeed east of Cleveland. However, you don't have to go east to get there from Cleveland.
You've been able to lock all that down?
In about a half hour.
Wow.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Moving quickly over here.
Yeah, you're good at geography. It's 3:38 at WTMJ. Up next, something nice.
Don't give in to that constant joint pain. Take control. Take back your quality of life today with help from QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Greg Matzik. QC Kinetics is helping people every day here in Milwaukee and across the country with their amazing non-surgical treatments that repair and restore damaged joint tissue. They use the latest advances in regenerative medicine, taking your own body's healing agents and concentrating them right in the area where you have the agonizing pain. It's incredible and a non-invasive approach that will help you take back back control of your body, relieving the pain in knees, hips, shoulder, or back. No invasive surgery, no harmful drugs or steroids, and no downtime. Hey, summertime should be about having fun, making memories. Take control now and start living pain-free again. Call now for a free consultation with QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
The world can be a messy place.
Yep.
And we at Wisconsin's Afternoon News think it could do with a little more nice.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Say something nice to me.
This is Something Nice on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
You heard him. It could be a messy place.
It could be.
We're here to make it a better place.
I like that.
Something nice is how I spent my morning and how you can spend your next couple of days. The WTMJ Cares Blood Drive. It is here. You've heard us talking about it. It just kicked off this morning. I was one of the very first people at the zoo today, waving to the penguins on my way to the donation center.
How was it down there? Were there a lot of people?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. I'm delighted. Even on a drizzly day. Because part of the bonus of coming to donate a pint of blood, we thank you. The American Red Cross has put together a package of free same-day admission to the zoo with free parking, plus free tickets to Summerfest while supplies last.
So even on a soggy day, that's really encouraging. That's great.
And I love it that you walk. When I drove in, I said, I'm here for the blood drive. They waved you right through and say, go to the main entrance, walk past the penguins, and you'll be at the Peck Welcome Center. So,
and even if you can't see them, you can smell them, so you know you're in the right place.
There's even a sign on the penguin exhibit that tells you that's the guano. Yes, and it smells fishy because they eat fish. But it was very charming. So,
are there still spots available? Can people still sign up and help us?
There are, because it's till 3:00 today, and then it just wrapped up.
Yep.
It's 9 to 3 tomorrow and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Wonderful staff. They are moving efficiently. Love to have you book an appointment. It's easy. Go to WTMJ.com, or you can still text the word blood, BLOOD, to the Old National Bank talk and text line 855-616-1620. I donated my pint. I have the evidence on Twitter and Facebook. You know, if you don't post it on social media, did it really happen?
Yeah.
Yes, it did, because I have my Band-Aid on.
Now, the important question.
Yes.
What were the snacks that you had?
I know. A fine array of treats. Nutter Butter peanut butter cookies.
I love those.
Remember that jingle?
Yes, I do.
Nutter Butters, Chips Ahoy, mini Chips Ahoy. They had boxes of donuts.
Oh, my gosh.
And bananas and raisins.
Bananas? Raisins? Get that out of here.
No, it's delicious. Our digital director, Dylan, saw me just plow through 2 apple juice boxes because I wanted to make sure I was fortified for the rest of the afternoon. Other snacks, they have a variety of cookies and like fruit snacks. They have some fancy cookies that are like lemon blueberry and orange cranberry.
Wow, so something for everyone.
Exactly. So that's just one way to get you some treats. But I really met some really kind people. And one of the volunteers is Mary from Tosa. And we were talking about how blood donations are used.
Cancer patients often need blood transfusions, and the Red Cross is there to step in and help.
I feel like everybody's been touched by cancer.
I have been touched by cancer myself 3 times, so yes, that's very true.
Mary, you're a survivor, and you're helping other people survive.
I am, and I love the opportunity to be here and giving back.
And that is the vibe. It's just such a heartwarming. When you talk about something nice, good people doing a good deed, we'd love for you to join us at the Milwaukee County Zoo. And Caroline, another WTMJ fan who was all about the Summerfest tickets. She was sending me emails like, I'm trying to rearrange my schedule. Can I get there? And she was just lovely. One of the first people I saw. And I asked her who she thinks of when she donates blood, and she said she thinks of her friend Ruben, whose life was saved thanks to blood donations.
He had APL leukemia, and it took 16 units of blood to get him to stable. So, and then it was a 6-month battle.
Wow, did he need blood regularly after that initial 16 units?
He did for the first 2 or 3 days, because he didn't even know that he was sick. He thought he had, what do you call that, when you go up in the mountains when you feel sick?
Altitude sickness.
Yes, that. And it turned out that he was actually, he could have died that day. He was bleeding out internally. So yeah, it saved him.
So that is how useful your blood can be. Just one pint, they say, can save up to 3 lives. And then I want to shout out to all the business owners and bosses. Consider adopting a blood drive policy, because it could lead to a lifetime of a great habit. I met Scott from New Berlin, huge WTMJ fan, and this is his blood donation journey. Why are you here today at the WTMJ Cares Blood Drive?
To help others. 66 donation.
66 pints so far.
That is correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
When did you start?
About 20 years ago.
What motivated you then?
Work said, hey, I'll give you 4 hours of pay and you donate blood. And I said, okay, let's do it. Been doing it for 20 years.
That's incredible. What a great habit your old job started. Are you still at that job?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Can we say what company encourages such good behavior?
Post office. Yeah, Franklin Post Office. Been with those guys for almost 27 years.
I'm just blown away by that.
That's
one
cool.
simple gesture. Hey, we'll pay you 4 hours of good time if you go do this good deed. And Scott has made it a habit ever since. And he got his Summerfest tickets, and I'm going to look for him at the Earth, Wind, and Fire show.
8 gallons of blood that guy's given.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Over 20 years. So if it's your first time, please come out and join us. If you haven't donated for a while, we welcome you back. Join us at the Milwaukee County Zoo for the WTMJ Cares Blood Drive, partnering with the American Red Cross and Gruber Law Offices. Schedule your appointment at WTMJ.com or let us send you the link. Text BLOOD, BLOOD, BLOOD to 855-616-1620. Thanks to everyone who has donated so far. I even got to meet Jeff Wagner's wife, Fran.
Oh, she's
Fran and
lovely.
Maggie came and donated
Very
today.
good. Good stuff, Sandy. Up next, we're going to switch gears a little bit. Are you one of the knuckleheads that's shooting off fireworks in your front yard into other people's yards? You go, you buy them like at one of those places on the border. You come home, you shoot them off at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12. Why are you doing that? 855-616-1620 is the Old National Bank talk and text line. 855-616-1620. Why? It's 345 at WTMJ.
The calendar has finally turned. The sun is out, and now it's time to finally celebrate. Summerfest is back. Tune in right here on WTMJ and during the festival. Visit Jeff Wagner and Wisconsin's Afternoon News in the Pella Windows and Doors mobile studio at the Gruber Law Office's Sports Zone down at Summerfest. We are the home of your Summerfest fun. 620 WTMJ.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
So when you're in a pain spiral, will stem cells or bone marrow, harvested from your body and then placed back into your body, get you out of it? For those willing to go through a very expensive and not exactly easy process, which is not FDA approved, it might. But for those not willing to pay exorbitant amounts to go through all that, especially knowing that pain relief is not a sure thing, it's not an option. At Rejuvenex, we inject powerful, FDA-approved treatments that reduce inflammation and pain, while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees. With some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics, and we are in network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief, really.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Traffic sponsored by Weniger Compressor, the Midwest air compressor experts. Visit pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor services all makes and models and carries high-performance compressors with a lifetime warranty. Contact Weniger at pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor.
Traffic and weather, let's get it out to Debbie Lazaga. How we rolling, Deb?
Well, we have got a broken down vehicle on northbound 894, right on the ramp from Lincoln Avenue. Looks like the right lane is blocked, so be careful with that. Otherwise, your usual heavy delays from Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol Drive, pretty much past Locust on 43 southbound, so watch out for that. We've also got some delays along 41 southbound, Silver Spring all the way past Capitol Drive. Once you make it to Burleigh, you're actually okay heading into the zoo. The northbound side of 41, a little bit heavy from Wisconsin, actually Watertown Plank Road up past Swan Boulevard. That's the heavy spot. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for tonight, that rain's going to end, a low of 61 degrees. Tomorrow, decreasing clouds, a high of 83. Wednesday, sunny, 83. Thursday, cloudy, 84. Chance for rain on Friday, a high of 83 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, a little rainy, a little hazy. It's 65 degrees. So if you live anywhere, probably in America, these past few days, the home fireworks have been being shot off all over the place. The little crappy ones that you pay too much money for along the side of the highway, and then you bring home, and people are trying to go to sleep or just sit with their dogs on their deck, and people are firing off those illegal fireworks. Here's the question on the table. Is there a courtesy involved when you're shooting off illegal fireworks to regulate what time you do it or what direction you point them? I know in my neighborhood, it seems like every year it starts earlier and earlier and earlier. And I was in my yard over the weekend, and there's bottle rocket stuff in my front yard. There's other parts of fireworks because they were getting shot off a couple houses down from mine.
Mm-hmm.
What's up with that? I put out the call, why do you people do that? And one guy from the 920 texted, one word, America.
He should have spelled it apostrophe America, right? America.
First off, if that's your definition of America, it's a little different than mine.
Well, I think this goes back to I have the right to do anything I want, which we all have.
Which you
we
don't.
have the ability to do whatever we want, and there are consequences for our choices. But you can't tell me it's a free country is usually the phrase.
Well, you're also supposed to have a permit. So my guess is that not a lot of these people have a permit. So
Come on, none of them do.
So here's the rule. State law allows the sale, possession, and use without a permit of sparklers not exceeding 36 inches in length, stationary cones, which are no fun, toy snakes, which are even worse.
I like those. I like the
bombs,
snakes.
caps, those little snap things that you throw on the ground and they pop, noisemakers, and confetti poppers.
So why do we sell them in Wisconsin then?
I've never understood it. And then you get to like Lake Country and all rules are off the table, right? Like the more the merrier out in the Lake Country around the 4th of July.
Yeah, but I can live more with the Lake Country if they're firing the stuff off their dock over the lake than if you're in a suburban neighborhood and it might land on somebody's roof.
What's your measurement on that length of sparkler again?
36 inches, thank you.
I've never had a sparkler that was a yardstick long.
Well, if you're not measuring your sparklers, what are you doing with yourself?
I want that, but
so see, size does matter.
You can't go wrong with sparklers because they don't make noise and they're just fun to prance about and whip around in the air.
But why? I seriously don't understand why we sell them in Wisconsin if it's illegal to use them.
I agree.
We don't sell marijuana, but then tell you not to smoke it. I don't understand that.
And I'm very curious, not to be the fun police here, but I am curious just, I mean, is this like speeding on the freeway where 1 out of 100 is going to get caught? Because permits are not, nobody's seeking a permit to light bottle rockets and send them down the road.
Greg, it's even worse than that. Is there a cop anywhere enforcing this? The only way this gets enforced is if you shoot one off and someone's house burns to the ground.
Exactly.
And they might come and ask you, what's going on?
It's also a nuisance in that you can't even figure out where it's coming from sometimes. Because I do like to be an adult and be able to say, if it's my neighbor, hey, could you just knock it off when, at 11 o'clock, because it gets dark later. But, if you could come to an agreement with your neighbors, but sometimes you can't even figure out where it's coming from. And I know pet owners, those thunder shirts are not enough.
No, my dogs are going crazy.
And you
can't settle them down.
And it's not contained to one night. I have some friends who not only have pets, but they have a special needs son. And this just wreaks havoc because it isn't July 4th till 10 o'clock. It was last Friday. It's July 5th, 6th, 9th.
Don't forget about the veterans, too.
Exactly,
that some of them have PTSD. And That's not good.
It's not.
Terrible trigger.
Let's go to Pam, who's in Appleton. Pam, good afternoon. You're on WTMJ.
Good afternoon. I am driving, so I hope this is okay. I actually just had a conversation. We have a lake cottage up north that we use as a rental, and I had a message this morning from the renter saying, can we use fireworks at your cottage? I said no. A, I don't want them going in the lake, or B, on the grass, because it hasn't rained up there like in a month. I want to respect my neighbors who have dogs.
You are a great American, Pam.
And if you're on call, if you're on call on the 4th of July, you will get several guys in with missing fingers. So there's all kinds of reasons not to be setting off your own fireworks.
Hey, Pam, thank you very much for taking the time to call.
Another reason I'm glad we're doing the WTMJ Cares blood drive just in time for the 4th of July. Well, it's true. There are, one statistic is 11,000 people a year treated in emergency rooms for fireworks-related injuries.
And how many of them need blood?
Probably most of them. Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of folks are getting the permit for their backyard fireworks display, right? How does that conversation go? Right? I mean,
Greg, no one is.
No, nobody is at all.
I've actually seen people that do. I have friends that have actually done so.
Wait, so they get the permit? What does that mean?
But it doesn't allow you to shoot them off.
But you can't fire them.
It allows
so what
you
does
to
that do?
purchase them and possess them and transport them, but not shoot them.
I didn't read the thing, I guess. Yeah, I mean, we did shoot them off, but
you
I mean,
can't.
I wasn't all.
You lawbreakers.
I don't know. I'm just, I'm just telling you.
Hey, let's get 911 in here. The traffic girl's firing off fireworks.
Not me. Not me. No.
You stood around and went, ooh.
No, I plugged my ears.
Yeah, I don't enjoy it either. You're funny.
I like the professional ones. They do much better anyway.
They do, for sure. So a female fan in Bayview, this absolutely pisses me off. The dog is terrified of fireworks, at least when they are scheduled. I know to keep them at home. Random ones when I walk are not so cool. From 262, same thought. Neighbor's dog barking all day and all night. For the 920, I think this is in response to the guy when I asked, why do you do this, who said one word, America. If you really want to be patriotic, you'll skip the fireworks and not give the Chinese government any money.
Okay.
Is that an eagle
screech? Was that
screech?
a falcon screech or a bottle rocket that didn't explode?
It's an eagle.
Pretty sure that was a falcon.
America. Who hopefully doesn't get shot down by a stray firework that was
that was a
bought
bottle
illegally.
rocket that didn't explode after its noise making.
This is a terrible text from 920. If you want to join us, 855-616-1620 on the Old National Bank talk and text line. For the 920 text, and I've had that same discussion with a local Facebook group. They don't care about anyone but themselves. I was told if I don't like it, to move. That's not neighborly. I don't know much, but that's not neighborly.
So, John, you and I live in Menominee Falls.
Right.
And occasionally, and we can see this from our back patio,
yes,
Silver Spring Golf Course, they do a lot of weddings out there, and the whole thing is being knocked down for a subdivision,
right.
So maybe not last that long. But fireworks go off for weddings. Like, they've got a permit to set up fireworks for weddings. So it'd be a random Friday night in fall, spring, whenever. It's like, oh, boy, here we go again. Everybody in the house.
Love is in the air.
Tomorrow, by the way, really quickly, the PTSD angle with veterans that Debbie brought up, we are going to have two doctors, both veterans actually, talking PTSD with us live here in the studio for a whole half hour. So we'll cover that important part of the story coming up tomorrow. It is 3:57 at WTMJ. Speaking of dogs, I only have a chance with the fireworks because I have sit, mean, sit dog training. That's the only way. My dogs have a possibility of being okay because they've given me the tools and techniques to settle my dogs down. If you're worried about your furry ones, get in touch with Sit, Mean, Sit Dog Training. They'll make your dogs better behaved, more understanding. They just listen better. SitMeanSitWaukesha.com. That's the website, SitMeanSitWaukesha.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Business headlines with the big dog. Rich Kirchen is senior reporter at the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A Common Council committee backs the city of Milwaukee extending the streetcar to Fiserv Forum and the East Side with federal funds. However, the vote could be symbolic as the state legislature removes city authority to expand or operate the streetcar with property taxes. From the C-suite to Summerfest, Gene Woods, CEO of Aurora Healthcare parent Advocate Health plays the Uline Warehouse stage with his band Soul Alliance. The American Association of Baseball plays its All-Star Game July 18th at Franklin Field, home of the Milwaukee Milkmen and UWM Panthers. Visit Milwaukee Goes to Bat as the event sponsor. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
For 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has set the standard for excellence in hospitality. Its reputation for offering impeccable service and luxurious accommodations is simply unmatched. For your next getaway, pamper yourself with a stay at the Pfister Hotel. Enjoy an evening of fine dining at its classic restaurant, Mason Street Grill. Unwind with a skin, body, or hair treatment at the Pfister Well Spa and Salon. Take in live music with a view from the 23rd floor at Blue Cocktail Lounge. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
Do you know the two most beautiful words in the English language?
I sure do. Asphalt and concrete.
There's nothing quite like the sweet smell of freshly paved asphalt.
I'm Jeff Johnson.
And I'm Jason Johnson with Johnson & Sons Paving.
From parking lots to driveways, we do it all.
If you have a project in need of asphalt, concrete, seal coating, or striping, we've got you covered.
Business owners to homeowners, we can help you.
Customer focused, quality driven, and budget conscious. Call us today.
262-251-5585.
Johnson & Sons Paving.com.
What makes Ben Ben is that he's very, very detail-oriented.
That's Arvid Huth from Penny Mustard Furnishings, talking about his brother, Ben.
The details to me matter. The smallest detail needs to be right, and there's no reason it can't be right. To me, a room needs to be clean, and there's no reason a room can't be clean. A room should be organized. A warehouse should be organized. There's no reason why it shouldn't be organized. I'm a fanatic on some of those things. And Arvid would roll his eyes at me. You know, that little dust is no big deal. But to me, I'm like, no, that needs to be cleaned up. He's so passionate about the quality of the furniture. Those details are his details. It's important for that furniture to be built perfect. Every little detail matters if you're going to have people and a company and a culture where what we deliver to that customer is absolutely the best thing we can bring to that customer. Everything we do to get to that point that the customer never sees needs to be done to our best ability. But in the end, I've always learned that the details won't take care of themselves. Ben will take care of the details. So that's been a blessing.
PennyMustard.com.
Social Security benefits denied? Contact Tayback for the payback. Go to TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
When was the last time you had a second opinion on your retirement plan? If you have $750,000 or more, schedule your retirement review with one of our fiduciary advisors at thekowalway.com.
We hope they learned their lesson from opening day.
He just hit one out of here with the bases loaded. And this one is over.
The Brewers are in Queens against the Mets, with coverage starting today at 5:35 on News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure. Your top story: speeding up the timeline on fixing lead pipes.
I'm Sandy Max. Russia's president speaks.
I'm Greg Matzik. The Brewers head east.
I'm Debbie Lazigo. We've got a broken down vehicle on 94 northbound, just north of Elm Road, almost at Oakwood Road, off on the right shoulder. Looks like it's a semi and a car off on the right side. So just be careful as you're making your way through there. Otherwise, delays along southbound 43, stretching basically from Bender Road all the way down through the Capitol Drive construction area. Starts to let up around Locust. And southbound 41, heavy from Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, going to be cloudy and hazy, a low of 61. Tomorrow, smoky, a high of 80. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson doubling down on the city's efforts to remove lead water lines and laterals from homes across the city. Johnson telling TMJ4 News he's going to direct the city to speed up the line removals.
My administration's desire to remove lead laterals in Milwaukee on a much expedited basis.
And what will that timeline be?
That timeline will be 20 years. 20 years as opposed to the 60 to 70 years that we originally had outlined for this.
The mayor is scheduled to give his State of the City address any moment.
The Milwaukee Common Council Steering and Rules Committee meeting today, getting the ball rolling on tackling the sales tax. The council also dissatisfied with the other provisions in the law restricting Milwaukee. State Representative Marisabel Cabrera testifying at the meeting.
I immediately started researching a whole lot on litigation because of that, because it's not only enshrined in our state statutes, but also in our state constitution that when it comes to legislation that is primarily local affairs, that it is left to the local governments.
The committee passed a resolution ordering a legal review of provisions in the law relating specifically to the city.
Problems at State Fair Park over the weekend. Milwaukee's Greek Fest forced to alter plans to its weekend festival after a number of fights involving young people.
Visitors to State Fair Park Sunday greeted with a toned-down festival. This comes after 4 people were arrested late Saturday night due to fighting. The festival says it decided to forego the carnival and closed up shop at about 6 p.m. That's 2 hours earlier than originally planned. According to State Fair Park police, at least 4 people arrested, dozens of others kicked out after a handful of fights near the amusement park. Fights on Saturday also forcing the festival to close early ahead of its scheduled time as well. The annual festival is the largest fundraiser for Milwaukee's Annunciation Greek Orthodox Church. Mike Spalding, WTMJ News.
Mason Crosby is eager to kick, but where? Greg Matzik has the story next in sports.
Citing unlimited WTMJ News Time 4:05. News sponsored by Smart Spaces. Visit smartspaceswi.com.
The workplace has changed a lot thanks to technology, and more recently, the shift to a flexible or remote schedule. Your business must adapt to maintain a great culture, attracting quality candidates and keeping them. You need Smart Spaces. The team of interior integrators at Smart Spaces brings creativity and expertise, assessing the walls, ceiling, lighting, flooring, furniture, and audiovisual systems to create places that matter in the modern world, fully functional for those in the building and for others to interact remotely. Get started today at smartspaceswi.com.
Let's face it, selling a home is stressful, difficult, and costly. The repairs, the showing your home to strangers, the months it takes to get to closing. And then what do you do with the 20 years of belongings you've accumulated? There's an easier way, and you have nothing to lose to try it out. Grandview Homes will give you a no-obligation, fair cash offer and close on the day you choose. We buy your home completely as is, no repairs whatsoever. Take the belongings you want and leave the stress and the mess to us. Call or visit grandviewhomes.com.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. There's a sense of pride, community, and work ethic that's second to none. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. We've been here and will continue to be here for as long as you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, WTMJ's John Rourke here. When it comes to memory care and assisted living, you want a team that knows compassion and empathy. That's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I know, my grandma's in assisted living. I have an aunt, one of my favorite aunts, right now in memory care. At Azura, they specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They provide additional daily living assistance for those with cognitive decline. 14 locations in Wisconsin, AzuraLiving.com, Wisconsin-based, family-owned. The teams I trust are at Azura. AzuraLiving.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
Well, the Brewers begin the day a half game back at the Reds for first place in the NL Central. Milwaukee begins a 4-game series against the Mets tonight, and after taking 2 of 3 against the Guardians.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good series win. Tough game for sure, and road trip goes on.
Coverage of tonight's game begins at 5:35. Meanwhile, free agency begins June 30th in the NBA. Chris Middleton, Brooke Lopez among the Bucks free agents to be. New coaching staff could lead to a new direction of roster building, according to GM John Horst.
There's a little bit of hitting the ground running with this group and everything we're going through, but to the best of our ability, we're pulling them into our processes. We're meeting, we're watching film, we're discussing, and we're going through, here's what we think here, this is why. And a lot of it up until here in the last minutes and making the decisions. And so it's been very open, very collaborative. He's got great insight, great opinions. We're not trying to build a roster like we have in the past.
Bucks begin summer league play in Las Vegas on July 7th. And former Packers kicker Mason Crosby tells Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN he is looking forward to playing next season. He is a free agent. They've relocated to Tennessee. He is staying ready in the event that he is called into action here as a training camp or early season, maybe mid-season replacement. He is staying ready, but believes his time in Green Bay is over.
All right. Thank you, Greg. It is 4:08 at WTMJ.
I got a chance to visit with my longtime family friend Lisa out at Three Pillars. It's Wisconsin's top-rated continuing care retirement community in beautiful Lake Country. What a gorgeous wooded campus. And the activities, fitness and wellness, fun excursions, gardening, parties, fancy dinners, and tons of opportunities for budding artists to be creative. Well, now they're expanding. Lisa is taking reservations for new high-end active adult residences, which means Three Pillars' top-rated campus is going to be even better, with amenities like a supper club, a spa to relax in, a pub, dog park, and more. I want to live there. Learn more at threepillars.org.
Wealth-changing question. Is your investment portfolio really customized? Some advisors say they customize them, but all they really do is ask you a few questions, then put all your money in a model portfolio. Here at Creative Planning, each of our private wealth management clients' portfolios is unique. Your investment mix will be based on your custom financial plan. If that's not how your money's managed, you're not getting the customization you deserve. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Off Mosquito Repellent, a clean feel so you can accessorize without mosquitoes. You can wear classic whites and jeans and know what you are covered with 8 hours of not sticky, fragrance-free protection. S.C. Johnson.
Wisconsin State Fair tickets are on sale now for just $14. Hurry! This deal ends Friday, June 30th. Don't miss the discounts on bargain books, cream puffs, and more. Get in on this great deal now at wistatefair.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
All right. Hope you guys are having a great Monday. So glad that you're with us. Sandy Max is here. So is Greg Matzik and Debbie Lazaga. Cameras are fired up, so we live stream the show. You can always watch the show, our YouTube channel, or do what I do. Check it out at WTMJ.com. There's a watch live button. So you can do it there. You can see Sandy's hair is wavy today.
Yes.
It looks nice.
Jesse in our office called it mermaid hair. So
that's cute.
A little wild.
All right, let's do this. Our favorite thing of the week. Our favorite thing of the week. No, who had a good weekend? Let's do that instead.
Whoa. It's Friday.
Favorite thing of the weekend.
I'm already to Friday. All right, who had a good weekend? I'll go first. Lila Sherry had a good weekend.
Hello.
Do you know who that is? Who Lila Sherry is? She is the 21-year-old Madison woman who's the new Miss Wisconsin. From a field of 25 candidates representing their communities, she is the new Miss Wisconsin, receives over $12,000 in scholarships, and she won the talent competition performing a classical piano solo. Congratulations. Nice job. She will replace Grace Stanke, who was the Miss Wisconsin, who became Miss America. So our new Miss Wisconsin had a great weekend.
Our new Miss Wisconsin was so surprised when she got crowned.
Yeah.
She was doubled over with glee and excitement and
It was
disbelief.
cool.
Yeah, she was enthusiastic.
Yeah. Who had a good weekend, Sandy?
Me? Did I have a good weekend? Yes, I did. I did because of Summerfest. You know how much I love music. You know how much I feel it is important that music connects people and brings people together. And Saturday at Summerfest just checked all of those boxes, lived up to everything that I wanted it to be. That was the night I was looking forward to. I got to hang out with one of my dearest college pals. I got to see some of Elvis Costello. I got to see my very favorite band of Summerfest and my friends Low Straitjackets with Nick Lowe. Got to visit with some of the guys in the band beforehand and reconnect. They're coming back in August. Mark your calendar for August 23rd at Shank Hall. And I got to make it down to also see Lyle Lovett and his large band, which I really wanted to see. Spectacular show. And Lyle Lovett enjoyed chatting with me and Greg Matzik so much that he gave us a shout out from the stage.
Oh, wow.
Yes, which was a surprise. And he
Wow.
was very kind and spent time with me afterwards. So that radio interview we did led to
Very
an
nice.
in-person conversation. And he is one of the most decent, kind humans on the planet. And
Awesome.
Yeah, so that was a joy.
Who had a good weekend, Greg?
I can go sentimental or I can go more sportsy.
Go sentimental.
Sentimental. Show us your soft
I
side.
think my parents had a great weekend.
Yay!
So my parents turned 80 this summer, and to get our family and my brother's family and my parents all together, and it's just not easy to triangulate that whole thing. But we were able to do that and spend a weekend at Blue Harbor Resort in Sheboygan. I had tweeted out a picture on my Twitter feed saying, "Where am I?" and it showed this beautiful landscape of the beach and the sand dunes and whatnot. It's just gorgeous. And yes, that's Sheboygan. That's on my Twitter feed. But we spent, the last couple of days together over the weekend having dinners. We went into Kohler and did a little putting thing at Black Wolf Run. We had dinners together, but then we played games, and from 6 to 79, everybody did everything together,
That's
and
awesome.
everyone had a lot of fun. But I know how much it meant to our parents to have a weekend like that with their boys and their boys' families, and it was a marvelous time. They had a wonderful weekend, and we all did too.
That's fantastic. The picture, by the way, looked like Hilton Head.
We had a couple of responses that said, "Where am I?" And a couple of people said Hilton Head.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Amazing. All right, Adam, who had a good weekend?
My garden had a fantastic weekend, John, and I'm sure most gardens around the entire area also had a great weekend. I have been fighting 2 wars this year, one with squirrels. I have given up that fight. They're just going to take what they want, apparently. And the other fight's been with this dry weather we've been having. So these last couple of days of a little bit of rain, you want always a little more, but it's been fantastic. I'm hoping the snow peas will be arriving soon.
Ooh, I hope so, too.
Mm-hmm.
It is 4:14 at WTMJ. This guy always has a good weekend. Brewers broadcaster Lane Grindle with us live up next.
Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
I got no FOMO for your show, Mo.
See the world from his perspective.
The chutzpah on this guy to bring ribs onto the plate and then eat them. I can't think of anything worse.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, every day at 7:50.
I like a little mayo on the broth.
Oh,
It's actually bad.
What are you, French?
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by your Wisconsin Chevy dealers. Hello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
CPAP is one option that can be used to keep the throat open at night. It can work. There are other ways of keeping that airway open other than the machine. Another option that most people have never heard of is an oral appliance. An oral appliance is like a retainer that you wear when you're sleeping at night. It's super slim, slides in your mouth, and what it does is it helps to keep your airway open. That's exactly what a CPAP machine does. Most people who are good candidates for a CPAP machine to treat their sleep apnea are also good candidates for an oral appliance. Most of those people never get offered an oral appliance. Advent has decided to change the practice of medicine in this country by offering oral appliances to our patients. And what that means is we are allowing our patients to have the choice of a CPAP machine oral appliance when they have sleep apnea, and that's a big deal.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventNows.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hassellus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
I don't believe that's your real name. I also don't believe the Hassellus mattress has no employees.
Come see for yourself. Try and buy with no pushy sales guy.
I'm not buying it.
Well, if you are buying a new Beauty Rest or Sealy Posturepedic mattress between now and Monday, we'll take an additional $200 off.
Promise?
Promise.
Pinky?
Pinky.
Wow, you are serious.
Find an employee-free showroom near you or at hassellus.com.
Discover Cadillac. Discover Crest Cadillac of Brookfield now with easy buy and lease options. Take advantage of 2.9% financing on new 2023 Cadillac XT4, XT5, and XT6. Come in today to test drive the all-new, all-electric Cadillac Lyriq. Discover the ultimate luxury experience with Cadillac's first all-electric, all-wheel drive vehicle with an over 300-mile range on a full charge. Order yours today at Crest Cadillac of Brookfield or CrestCadillac.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
All right, Debbie Lazaga, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We have an accident now on the ramp from 35th Street to 94 eastbound. So heads up with that. You still can get onto the freeway. It's just something you have to deal with. Other than that, a little bit of a backup heading out of the stadium interchange on westbound 94 all the way to about Hawley Road. Southbound on 43, slowing down from before Silver Spring all the way down past Locust. And southbound 41, a little bit heavy there between Hampton Avenue and Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, those showers will end, a low of 61 degrees. Tomorrow it's going to be smoky and hazy. It's not going to be a good air quality day, a high of 83. On Wednesday, sunny, although maybe hazy as well, a high of 83. On Thursday, slight chance for rain, a high of 84. And on Friday, scattered showers, a high of 83 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it's hazy and 66.
Now batting for the Brewers Radio Network, play-by-play announcer Lane Grindle.
High fly ball, deep right field. Rowdy Tellez has done it again.
On Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
From the Big Apple, Lane, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How's everybody doing today?
Good. So have you been to the top of the rock or on one of those little boats around the Statue of Liberty?
Yeah.
Years ago I did that, yeah. Not today, though.
On these trips, will you get out?
A boat. So technically, I've been on a boat around the Statue of Liberty.
On these trips, will you sightsee at all? Will you go to a favorite restaurant? Kind of, what does New York do for you?
It kind of depends, to be honest with you. I will just do a lot of walking in this city, typically, and go for a run in Central Park. I did not do that today because it was raining. So I made the executive decision to not do that today. I walked around a little bit Times Square, walked around Rockefeller a little bit, and checked all those sights and sounds out that I have a bunch of times before. But I don't do a ton of stuff because every game we have here is a night game. So that kind of takes some of those things off the table. And I leave for the ballpark, mid-afternoon. So you got to get up and get it done in the morning if you're going to do that.
Well, if you didn't do that today, what time did the pajamas actually come off today? What time did you actually get dressed?
Pretty early. So pretty early. I got up and I went. I love going to St. Pat's, and so I got up. That's one of the first things I do almost every time I come to New York is I go to St. Pat's Cathedral, and I got up and I was over there by about 8 o'clock, and so that was the first thing I did, and then I walked around a little bit after that and came back to the room, relaxed for maybe an hour or so, checked in with my family, and then went back out and just kind of walked around.
No pictures with a janky
I know this
Elmo?
is kind of boring. Like you were hoping for a lot more out of my day, and I apologize for
I just want you to tweet a picture of you with a knockoff Elmo in Times Square. Or a Mario Brother.
Or the Naked Cowboy.
Okay, so let's dive into that for a second. I did see some that. So the Naked Cowboy I did not see today.
Yeah,
there was
that's good.
There was a female version that was there today.
Really? Huh. A naked cowgirl?
That was new. Yes.
Oh, wow.
That was new. I'd never encountered that before.
Equal rights.
And then the Elmos. There was probably 10 Elmos and probably 10 Mickey or Minnie Mouses walking around. Saw Spider-Man. Didn't look much like Spider-Man other than the costume. Spider-Man.
You weren't impressed.
Had grown a little bit. Yeah. So
give us a peek behind the curtain. When you're on the road, do you get a per diem? Do you have favorite restaurants you like to check out in the different cities? How does that all work?
Yeah, you do, but you don't get a lot of opportunities to check out restaurants on the. We play night games most of the time, so that makes it tough. I went to Ray's Pizza for lunch. It's kind of a staple, and to be honest, I struck out on a slice of pizza in Cleveland rather, and I was so. I mean, it's hard to strike out on a piece of pizza, and I was so disappointed in that. I knew Ray's would just deliver what I needed in a piece of pizza today. So that was like, we're not going to mess around. We're going to go straight. We're going to throw a fastball here. We're going to go to Ray's Pizza, and we're going to be satisfied with our slice of pizza. So that was like the big thing to check off the list today.
Wait, are you saying that you had a terrible piece of pizza, or you didn't get a piece of pizza that you were hoping to have?
It was a lackluster slice of pizza that I had in Cleveland.
Wow,
I was
that's
disappointed
tough.
in it. Yeah, and I've had good pizza in Cleveland. It's nothing on Cleveland. I took a chance on a spot I'd never been before, and I was disappointed. So I didn't want to get fancy today. I wanted to go for something that I knew would deliver, and Ray's did.
Well, this is a long road trip, Lane. We were talking today. Is Lane a coffee drinker? I said, I don't really know. I don't know if Lane dives into the coffee. He likes to get up. He likes to move around a little bit. But I don't know if you're a coffee guy or not.
I'm a big coffee guy. I love it. Yep, Blue Bottle is one of the spots in New York that is right around the corner from where we stay. They've got a bunch of different locations, but that's a good cup of coffee, I think, in New York. I've got places all over Major League Baseball where I like my cup of coffee. Phil's in San Francisco is a staple. Second Cup Coffee was great in Toronto. That was a new find this year. And then I make I don't have like a notes program in my phone where I keep tabs on it, but my mind remembers these places, and I usually go back. If I get a good cup, I'm going back next time I'm in town.
That's loyalty.
For sure. Brewers broadcaster Lane Grindle is with us. Lane, what do you like about what this Brewers team is doing right now?
Well, I think the fact that they have kept themselves above water with all the injuries has been a key, and they're starting to get healthier. They've had Wade Miley back for a couple of starts now. That's a big deal. And I like the way Christian Yelich is playing. I think over the course of this season, if he continues to play the way he has for the first half of this year, that spells really good things for this team. If you start diving into Christian's numbers, he's playing at an all-star level this year. It's not maybe the 18 and 19 eye-popping numbers that you saw when he won the MVP and probably was on his way to winning it at the end of the 19 season before he got injured. It's not quite to that level. The power numbers aren't the same, but a lot of extra base hits. He's getting on base a ton. He's going to have a big year on the base paths, and he's playing the best defense of his life. So I just think that spells good things for this team. Eventually, you figure that Willy Adames is going to start stacking up some big games like his game Friday night. Eventually, Rowdy Tellez is going to start producing some of that power at a little bit more consistent clip. And so they've hung in there through all of these things, and I think their best baseball is in front of them, and they're a half game out of first place. So I like where they're at. I think there's better baseball on the horizon, and we'll see what they do in a month to add to this team too. And there's some guys in the minors that could help this team before it's all over. Sal Frelick could definitely help this team before the season's complete.
Hey, Lane, you mentioned rain. Any worry for tonight's game?
It's pretty cloudy, and I know there's been some rain in the forecast over the course of the night tonight. Right now it's dry, and the Brewers are taking batting practice on the field. And I'm just pulling up, this is possible light rain in the next hour. There's about a 40% chance till about 8 o'clock. Then it starts to drop down a little bit. So I think we'll have, get this, Greg, I think we'll have a window.
There's a window. Meteorologist Lane Grindle joining
Nobody's
us.
ever said that about a baseball game before. I'm the first one.
Yeah, well, the window's typically shut in Pittsburgh, and we know that's the final step of the road trip.
Yeah, there aren't windows in Pittsburgh.
No.
Nope.
Brewers broadcaster Lane Grindle, always good to catch up. It's a lot of fun when you're on the road, Lane. Thanks so much for being with us.
You bet. Happy to be with you.
It is 4:26 at WTMJ. Up next, the latest on that Russian rebellion. And the State of Our City speech is going on right now. And we're going to open up the phone lines. I know we complain a lot about the city. What are your favorite parts about Milwaukee? We'll take your phone calls coming up in the next half hour. 855-616-1620. Send your text. What do you love about the city of Milwaukee? First, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. All in the red today. The S&P 500 was off 20 points to close at 4238. The Dow was off 13 points to close at 33,174. The NASDAQ, the big dropper, off 157 points. That's more than 1% to close at 13,335. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning is a fee-only fiduciary. It's not the time to set it and forget it. Get help now. Visit annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button today.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing and me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new plan. Nothing is every day.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Well, your home's integrity depends on the roof and the windows and the doors and, of course, the siding, right? Well, what happens when that all melts down? You got to call the people who will not in that situation. That's Siding Unlimited. Father started a siding company back in the day, called it Siding Unlimited. Well, eventually, Eric and Aaron Brown, sons of the father, proved to be so trustworthy and valued their own integrity. After college, they took over the business, and now Siding Unlimited is all of the things I mentioned and more. Windows, doors, roof, decks, outdoor kitchens, your home's integrity factors, all sorts of good stuff. You could buy those things wherever, I guess, but you wouldn't always trust the people. Well, that's what you can do with Siding Unlimited. Integrity. Eric, Aaron, the rest of the group at Siding Unlimited, the best in the business. In fact, I'm a repeat customer. They have done a number of projects over the years. They stand by their work. They do phenomenal work, and they have great products. Really the best of all worlds. Visit them online at sidingunlimited.com.
I've been fixing AC systems almost my whole life. So when it comes to which system I would put in my own home and which of those I wouldn't, I have a pretty good eye. And that's why I want our folks at Quality Heating talking about Armstrong Air Pro Series AC systems, which have a 2-stage scroll compressor that runs longer, gentler cooling cycles at low capacity during mild weather, and switches to full capacity on hotter days. That's efficiency, and it all adds up. So see the man in the red van.
Quality heating, quality heating.
When summer heat arrives, there's nothing better than walking into a nice, properly cooled home. And if that system's working right, there's not a lot of things that can be more refreshing. But when your AC's on the fritz, it's worse than the pits. And that's when you call the man in the red van. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. We have one of the largest HVAC fleets in Wisconsin. And that means fast emergency service for you 24/7, 365.
Quality heating, quality heating.
Traffic is sponsored by Harwood Place Senior Living. Learn more about Harwood Place Retirement Living's newly renovated apartments and updated pricing options. Visit harwoodplace.org or call to schedule a tour.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: the state of the city is underway.
I'm Sandy Max, figuring out what's up in Russia.
I'm Greg Matzik. Members of the Packers stumping for their new quarterback.
I'm Debbie Lazigo. We're still dealing with an accident. It is on the 35th Street on-ramp to eastbound 94, off on the left shoulder there, so just be careful as you're heading past that scene. Westbound 94 has some pretty hefty delays starting around 25th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. Southbound 43, watch out for backup starting just before Silver Spring and stretching all the way down past Locust. We're looking at a 21-minute ride from Brown Deer Road to downtown. It's an extra 11. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The air quality index has climbed into the red unhealthy for everyone range, meaning everyone's recommended to limit their time outdoors. Showers end tonight, but still hazy 61. Tomorrow, hazy 80 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Mayor Cavalier Johnson delivering a State of the City address right now. Let's go live to the Summerfest grounds where the mayor is speaking.
Complicating the situation, our city pension system is requiring a greater contribution in order to fulfill our obligation to city retirees. So I took our case to leaders in the state cap. I said I would have a cot in the Capitol, and I spent an enormous amount of time there. That led to one of the most remarkable aspects of this journey. City leaders, state legislative leaders were able to talk. Political barriers to substantive communication, in place for a long time, they began to fall away. Milwaukee's predicament was at last getting the full attention of state leaders.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson. We will monitor the mayor's speech, and you can always stay caught up at WTMJ.com or on the WTMJ mobile app.
The Milwaukee Common Council's Steering and Rules Committee meeting today, getting the ball rolling on tackling the sales tax. The council also dissatisfied with the other provisions in the law restricting Milwaukee. State Representative Marisa Bell Cabrera testifying at the meeting.
I immediately started researching a whole lot on litigation because of that, because it's not only enshrined in our state statutes, but also in our state constitution, that when it comes to legislation that is primarily local affairs, that it is left to the local governments.
The committee passed a resolution ordering a legal review of provisions in the law relating specifically to the city.
Milwaukee police arrested a 23-year-old Milwaukee woman in connection to the death of a 4-month-old girl. According to a statement from police, the incident happened near 23rd and Burnham about 1:30 Sunday morning. The child was found unresponsive and later declared dead. The woman was arrested for child neglect. Police are still investigating.
The U.S. still trying to understand what happened with this weekend's military mutiny in Russia.
U.S. and NATO allies appearing surprised that Russia's contracted military Wagner Group would attempt an internal armed takeover against the country that was paying its bills.
We're going to keep assessing the fallout of this weekend's events and the implications for Russia and Ukraine.
President Biden saying the U.S. and Western nations had nothing to do with this attempted Russian military takeover. Andy Field, ABC News, Washington.
Shenanigans at State Fair Park. Milwaukee's Greek Fest forced to alter plans to its weekend festival after a number of fights involving young people.
Visitors to State Fair Park Sunday greeted with a toned-down festival. This comes after 4 people were arrested late Saturday night due to fighting. The festival says it decided to forego the carnival and closed up shop at about 6 p.m. That's 2 hours earlier than originally planned. According to State Fair Park police, at least 4 people arrested, dozens of others kicked out after a handful of fights near the amusement park. Fights on Saturday also forcing the festival to close early ahead of its scheduled time as well. The annual festival is the largest fundraiser for Milwaukee's Annunciation Greek Orthodox Church. Mike Spalding, WTMJ News.
Free agency nears and roster decisions await the Bucks. Greg Matzik explains next in sports.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 434.
This report sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
If your unread messages number in the triple digits, if your laundry pile is taller than you, if you haven't done your taxes from last year, and if you started a diet, tomorrow you might be a perpetual procrastinator. Look, we get it. Life gets in the way. But if you keep putting off maintenance on your home's HVAC, plumbing, or electrical system, this could be one long summer. That's why you should use Mr. Holland's Home Services. We remind you when it's time for your annual safety checks and inspections, including electrical, plumbing, and maintenance for your heating and air system. You'll also enjoy members-only discounts on repairs and new equipment, no overtime or fuel service charges, and front-of-the-line VIP service. Choose one of our monthly plans. Don't put it off any longer. Call 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If you put the pro in procrastination, we can help.
It's time to upgrade that old patio furniture with By the Yard maintenance-free outdoor furniture. By the Yard furniture features no painting, no rotting, no splinters, no storage ever. With over 400 items in 9 UV stabilized colors, By the Yard is proudly made in the Midwest and backed by a 35-year warranty. Explore By the Yard's outdoor furniture collection at their showroom location in Mayfair Mall, Wauwatosa, or visit BuyTheYard.net. That's BuyTheYard.net.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. You ever ask yourself the question, what do I want to be known for? Do you know the answer? Are you in the right place to realize those aspirations? If not, LAK's Career Fit program can get you there. They'll work with you to create a roadmap to get you on a trajectory toward career fulfillment and renewed meaning in life, so you can truly discover what you were meant to do. Find out more about Career Fit. Visit transformingcareers.com. LAK Group, discover your human advantage.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
Brewers and Mets tonight, 5:35, the broadcast time. Milwaukee riding a road trip that has started with 2 wins and 3 opportunities. Brewers taking those games against Cleveland. Game 1 of a 4-game series against the Mets later tonight. As for the NBA, Summer League begins for the Bucks July 7th. Free agent period begins June 30th. Among those who will become free agents when the league year begins, Chris Middleton and Brooke Lopez.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports commentary on Wisconsin's afternoon news. Here's Greg Matzik.
Packers offensive lineman Elton Jenkins is the latest member of the team to publicly back quarterback Jordan Love. Veteran Preston Smith believes Love has what it takes to continue the franchise's streak of exemplary quarterback play. About Love, running back Aaron Jones says everyone has full trust. Wide receiver Romeo Doubs believes Love can do what Aaron Rodgers did a season ago. Every time a member of the Packers communicates what they like about the new starting quarterback, headlines are made, stories are written, and sports talk shows are given ammunition. Random members of the Packers are becoming popular guests across a variety of platforms this offseason. Have you noticed? In summary, members of the Packers will miss Aaron Rodgers and believe Love is primed to succeed. But nothing should be made of members of the Packers stumping for their new starting quarterback. No, much should be made of those who, when given the opportunity, don't. So far, that hasn't happened.
Extra Points, sponsored by All Right Home and Remodeling. When you want it done right, call All Right.
Did you know that the Inflation Reduction Act can save you thousands on energy-efficient updates like new insulation, siding, windows, and more? And these dollars are in addition to Focus on Energy rebates. I'm Randy Miller, owner of All Right Home and Remodeling and S&E Insulation. As Department of Energy Century Club award winners, my team has the proven skills and experience to help you take advantage of these unprecedented incentives. Get started at ALLRITE remodeling.com.
This report is sponsored by Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart.
In the past 70 years, there's something that has never changed. The kitchen. Oh, it may look a little different as the decades have passed, but it's always been where family gathers for meals, memories, and more. Wisconsin Kitchen Mart has always understood that and remains dedicated to making that important space special.
With an expansive 18,000 square foot showroom filled with full-size displays featuring Play-Doh custom cabinetry, award-winning designers, plus their own in-house installation department, let Wisconsin Kitchen Mart transform your kitchen into a true gathering place.
I'm Robert Iskey, Vice President and Designer from Wisconsin Kitchen Mart. We've been remodeling kitchens and baths since 1951 and can help establish a vision for your remodel. We bring the carpenters, plumbers, electricians, and everyone else needed to make your dream kitchen a reality.
Higher design, higher style, higher Wisconsin Kitchen Mart on the corner of West Wisconsin Avenue and 36th Street in Milwaukee. Online at wisconsinkitchenmart.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
I want to bring you up to speed on what happened in Russia and whether or not the U.S. and allies were involved. ABC's Andy Field is with us this afternoon. Good afternoon, Andy. Let's start with the second question first. Were the U.S. or its allies involved in the rebellion in Russia?
Well, if you ask the President, the State Department, and the Defense Department here in Washington, the answer is no, that they had absolutely nothing to do with this. This was an internal Russian problem, an event. No one's calling it a coup or a mutiny. They're just calling it an occurrence, an event. Even Vladimir Putin said that in his speech today. There's so many holes in this puzzle that there's something missing here. First of all, Prigozhin, he's the leader of this Wagner group, which is basically a group of mercenary fighters that have been doing most of the dirty work for Russia, being paid handsomely for it, inside Ukraine. Now, this guy Prigozhin, who's the leader of the group, has a beef with the main Russian military. That's what he said. He wasn't leading a coup. He was protesting the treatment from Russian main military soldiers, and even claiming at one point that the Russian military ended up killing some of his mercenaries that are supposed to be working for Russia. So there's bizarre occurrence number one. Number two, no one seems to be getting punished for this. Vladimir Putin got on TV saying that there was just a small group of people with this armed rebellion, or whatever you want to call it. They decided to stop short of getting into Moscow. And then apparently, according to our U.S. military, they're all back in their regular positions, in their garrisons, either in Russia or in places in Ukraine. As to where their leader is, that's still a bit of a mystery, but no one seems to be targeted for punishment in this. So this is a very bizarre situation, and whether this is a giant head fake by the military to tell everyone, hey, look over here while we do something else, or if there's a serious problem that Putin faces here, it may not be clear for a little while.
Yeah, Andy, I was wondering, does this signal that Putin wants to stay in good with, I'll get his name wrong, Prigozhin, because he needs that mercenary support?
Well, he definitely needs the mercenary support. In fact, Prigozhin has complained mightily that if the Russian forces had followed their lead on the first day of the attack on Ukraine, they said that they went very deep into Ukraine on that first attack. And that if the Russian forces had either been brave enough, smart enough, powerful enough, whatever it is you want to say, and followed their lead, that this whole war would have been over in a day. So he seems to have a big beef with the Russian military. It's not clear how they're going to solve this here. But even Vladimir Putin today said that the folks who participated in this have three options. They can either re-sign up for a contract to keep fighting for Russia. They can go back to their friends and family at home and all will be forgotten, or they can go to Belarus. So none of those three options include going to a prison in Russia.
Andy, at the very least, it seems like there's a lot of chaos surrounding the decision to invade Ukraine right inside of Russia.
Well, it's certainly not very popular in that country. That's number one. Number two, we know that there were people either fleeing the country or people who were being conscripted to go fight in this war that said, I'd rather just get out of the country because they're just sending us to be cannon fodder there. So Vladimir Putin, even though he puts on a good face in these broadcasts that he's putting out to the nation, is increasingly unpopular in his own country because the sanctions have really exacted a toll on that nation. Even the oligarchs who have all this money and have been backing Putin with their money are giving this second thought now, a year and a few months into this war, saying, what are we doing here? All we're doing is losing money. We've had our ships and everything else confiscated, our funds frozen overseas. So this may point to a much bigger problem for Vladimir Putin, but at the moment, he still seems to be in charge.
ABC's Andy Field. Thank you, Andy.
Thanks.
444 at WTMJ. So the state of the city is going on right now. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson is at the BMO Pavilion down in the Summerfest grounds giving his speech. I want to open up the phone lines on this. We spent a lot of time talking about what's wrong in Milwaukee. And during the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to talk about what's going on with the fights at these festivals. But right now, for this next segment, let's flip the table. You live here. You work here. There's something that you obviously really like about being here. Let's just open up the Old National Bank talk and text line. Call us, text us. What are your favorite things about Milwaukee? What do you love about Milwaukee? 855-616-1620, 855-616-1620. Let's run through this. What do you love about Milwaukee? Your calls and texts up next.
With a nightmare record like that, we now get why you're the city that never sleeps.
Fly ball deep center field. Back at the track. It is gone.
The Brewers square off against the Mets in New York.
Jesse Winker with his first home run as a Brewer.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:35. Presented by American Family Insurance. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. The Fed says inflation is a long way to go. What does that mean for you? Well, it probably means that if you don't want to go it alone with investment and retirement planning, it's time to have a talk with Annex Wealth Management. Meeting with Annex is an easy thing to do, and you're under no obligation. If it makes sense, you move forward. They want you to know the difference. In a time when insurance sales are disguised as financial planning, working with a fee-only fiduciary is a breath of fresh air. Annex operates as one team. In-house financial planning, investment, tax, and estate teams are in-house. And Annex makes it convenient with branches across the WTMJ listening area. If you want to meet online, that's no problem. That's where Annex Everywhere comes in. Visit AnnexWealth.com, click the Get Started button, and schedule your own appointment today. That's Annex Wealth Management. The teams I trust are at Annex. Official provider for the University of Wisconsin. Fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex.
Hey, former radio wake-up guy Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. If that recent cold snap made you think that now is the time to replace those drafty old windows, then now is a good time to call Hometown Windows and Doors. Save heating costs now, cooling dollars down the road with energy-efficient replacement windows and doors from Hometown. Hometown offers the brands you trust like Anderson, Pella, Marvin, Softlight, and more in wood, vinyl, and fiberglass. And all of their products are installed by employee carpenters. Plus, Hometown is the area's only Pella Platinum and Marvin authorized replacement company. Hometown's dedicated consultants can guide you to the best fit and value for your home and your remodeling dollar. Stop in at their newly remodeled showroom in New Berlin and see the Hometown difference for yourself. Or call them for a no-pressure in-home consultation, 414-329-1200, or visit them at hometownwindows.com. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Hurt at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Traffic and weather, then we'd love to hear from you. What is it that you love? about Milwaukee? What makes this a special place? 855-616-1620. All right, Deb, how are we doing out there?
Well, we do still have this crash being worked on the ramp from 35th Street to 94 eastbound. Couple cars off on the left. Squad is with it, so it should be out of there soon. But heads up with that. We do have delays coming in from about 76th Street through the Stadium interchange to that point. On the westbound side, slowing down from 27th all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43, hitting the brakes from Silver Spring, pretty much all the way down to about Locust, the northbound side. Also backing up right around the North Avenue curve all the way up past Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, showers ending cloudy, low of 61 degrees. Tomorrow, decreasing clouds. Going to be hazy, though. Not going to be good air quality tomorrow. High of 83. On Wednesday, sunny, a high of 83. On Thursday, slight chance for rain, a high of 84. Friday, spotty showers, a high of 83. In Milwaukee right now, it is hazy and 66 degrees. So Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson is right now giving his State of the City address. He's down at the BMO Pavilion giving his address, talking through in large part why we need to pass the sales tax and why that's important to avoid the city from going over a financial cliff. He's also talking about things his administration would like to do and things that are great about our city. You know how these State of the City and State of the State and State of the Nation addresses goes. Well, this is a typical one. Led us to want to open up the phone lines and ask you the state of our city and, in particular, what you like about it and what makes our place special. We know there are problems. We know there's things we can do better and can improve on. What do you like about our city? What is it that makes our city a special place? I like that for a city our size, we have everything. I think in a lot of ways we outperform when it comes to culture and restaurant quality. We don't have what they have in Chicago, but we do have more than other cities our size have. And I think it's a great quality of life. I think we have a lot to offer, whether you're downtown near where we are, whether you're in a restaurant along the lakefront, or you're at our beautiful art museum. I think there's a lot to be proud of. And I love that about our city. And when I talk about our city, that's one of the first things I tell people.
I like that it is very accessible. I've lived in Chicago a couple times, and there is an electricity to a very big city like that. We have pretty much everything here in a much more manageable form. Like you said, the culture, it's just much more manageable. We have just as much ethnic richness. We have the cuisine. It is more affordable. It is easy to get around. I can pretty much be anywhere I need to be in 25 minutes or darn near close. Try that in Chicago. And it's not just a comparison thing. It's a friendliness. The people here are nice. But yeah, we have a very special, warm vibe in Milwaukee.
I'm with you on the restaurant scene. I think it is such an incredible part of the fabric of our community. We have some really good restaurants that have closed, unfortunately, but it seems like every one that closes, there are two more that pop up, right? If you want just purely breakfast, if you want brunch, if you're a steak lover, if you love Thai cuisine, Indian food, like there's a lot of that, I think, in a small area in downtown Milwaukee specifically, but also the ease with which Sandy approaches life. I find that myself living in the suburbs. I work a full day downtown and grab my kids at the splash pad before dark out in Menomonee Falls. Like there's an ease in getting around. We complain about traffic, but it's really not that bad overall.
No, I mean, I'm home in Menomonee Falls in less than 20 minutes. It's really remarkable, and you're right, easy.
And we have major league sports teams here, which is the envy of many other cities. Even if you don't love the major league sports teams, they are an attraction. They're something to be proud of. They give Milwaukee a spot on the worldwide map.
Let's take some calls here. What do you love about Milwaukee and the Milwaukee area? Let's go to, is it Siri in Brookfield?
Oh, yes. Hi. Yeah, I'm calling from Brookfield. My name is Sri, and what I like best about Milwaukee is MATC. I graduated from two programs at MATC, and one of them was downtown campus. And I think, it's for how much they charge for a semester, it's just fantastic value. And the instructors are amazing there. The equipment is modern and all industrial stuff. And I think a lot of cities, they really don't have. I've lived elsewhere in the U.S., and a lot of cities don't have a institution like MATC, giving the quality of education for that value. And I think part of that reason might be because Milwaukee, this whole Wisconsin area has a lot of manufacturing here.
Yeah.
But I just and if you're going to I'm in UWM right now, and I took a couple of courses at MATC that transferred over to UW. It was cheaper to take at MATC. So even if you're going to a 4-year college, you get a lot of value from just going to MATC.
Yep, you do. Hey, thank you very much for the phone call. Craig is in New Berlin. Craig, good afternoon. You're on WTMJ.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. Hey, you stole my thunder because, if they ever get all of these roads fixed before this, it was wonderful to go to work. Easy. There's no rush hour. I've been to New York. I've been to Chicago, L.A. You come here, and it's like a breeze. I mean, you'll sit in a car for 3 hours in any of those places. You come to Milwaukee, and the longest commute is like 40 minutes.
Yeah, you're right. We get ticked off like, oh, my God, it took me 30 minutes. Yeah. Hey, you're right, Craig. Hey, thanks for the phone call.
People, when they come into town, they say they can't believe it. They just can't believe it.
Thank you very much for the phone call. Helen is in Bayview. Helen, good afternoon. You're on WTMJ.
Hi, thanks. I love Milwaukee because of the parks. There are playgrounds just around every single corner, and then we have the major big parks that have so much to offer. It doesn't even feel like you're in the city because you're in this beautiful woody area and with lots of things for kids to do and for adults for walking and bicycle paths. There's just everything at our parks.
Thank you very much for the phone call. You're right about that. A couple of texts here. I love the Brewers. We always get that, talking about the sports teams when we have these discussions. From the 414, I love having access to excellent health care for my kids when I need it, and all the perks of a big city without the major traffic issues of the massive cities. From the 414, Milwaukee has great Midwestern values and truly care about each other, and we're also fortunate to have the Brewers and the Bucks, which the city really embraces. Chris is in Greenfield. Chris, good afternoon. You're on WTMJ.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hey, love our city. Actually, just had some friends in last week from Cleveland last Wednesday, and they're like, hey, we want to come see the town. We've never been here. So took them over to Paulie's Pub. They did the Wednesday shows at State Fair. A bunch of people came over, saw a free concert. They're like, this is a Wednesday? This is amazing.
Thank you for the phone call. You're right, and it's good perspective when someone comes in from out of town, because I think sometimes we're so close to it, it's easy to complain about the things we don't like. But we have a great city, and this time of year, it just shines pretty. It's nice for sure. It's 4:55 at WTMJ. Business headlines are up next. Hey, school is out. Check this out. I got something that you can do that's super affordable. It's the Mine Shaft Restaurant, the most affordable summer vacation destination. I used to take my daughters here all the time. It was fun. It's big value, big fun, big food. It's the Mine Shaft Restaurant with that $2 million game room, over 80 interactive games, including the Big Drop Ticket, Power Roll, and the easiest games even for your little ones. That is so much fun. Your kids are going to love the Mine Shaft, especially the teenagers. They're going to love those games. And you might enjoy a huge 18-inch pizza, pitcher of soda or beer, and 100 game tokens for just $42.99. Hours of fun easily feeds a family of 4. Kids menu starts at $3.99 every day. Have your kids' summer birthday party in the free party rooms. They even have your cake and no cooking or cleaning. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and right in Oshkosh off the interstate. It is the perfect summer outing. Reserve now, MineshaftRestaurant.com. Business headlines, it is Rich Kirchen, the senior reporter at the Milwaukee Business Journal.
A Milwaukee Common Council committee endorses seeking federal money for extending the streetcar to Fiserv Forum and the East Side. The move may be symbolic because the state legislature wants to block city funding for the streetcar. CEO of Aurora Health's parent company gets a gig at Summerfest. Gene Woods of Advocate Health plays the Uline Warehouse stage with his band Soul Alliance. Visit Milwaukee adds a sponsorship through its Sports Milwaukee unit. It's the American Association of Baseball All-Star Game, July 18th at Franklin Field, home of the Milwaukee Milkmen and UWM Panthers. I'm Rich Kirchen with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com. on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Welcome to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. May I take your order?
I'd like 9 windows, please.
Of course. All our products are custom made just for you.
I'm hoping they'll match my home.
Of course they can. Have it your way.
Excuse me? We're talking about windows, right?
Yes, we customize any decor. Our design options are virtually limitless, even more customized than your coffee.
So you're like my personal barista for windows and doors.
Exactly. And you couldn't have picked a better time because if you customize your order by August 31st, you can bundle and save big.
Good deal. That was easy.
Thank you. Drive through.
Pella's premium wood windows and patio doors feature distinguished craftsmanship and nearly endless possibilities. Bundle and save when you customize your order by August 31st at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard. Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard. It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
Hurt by a truck? Call Gruber Offices. One call, that's all.
We hope they learned their lesson from opening day.
He just hit one out of here with the bases loaded. And this one is over.
The Brewers are in Queens against the Mets, with coverage starting today at 5:35 on News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, Mayor Johnson lays out the state of Milwaukee.
I'm Sandy Max. The Common Council takes up the sales tax.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We do have some delays along eastbound 94 coming in from the zoo into downtown. A 10-minute ride, 3-minute backup. On southbound 41, that's still going to be heavy from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol. It's a 20-minute ride there from Highway Q to the zoo, an extra 6. Southbound 43 also on and off the brakes between Bender Road and basically, I'd say Burleigh. Right now it's about 20 minutes to get from Brown Deer Road into downtown. That is going to be an extra 9 minutes. And while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The air quality index in the unhealthy for everyone range, so limit your time outdoors, especially if you're breathing compromised. Tonight, the showers end a low 61. Tomorrow, hazy smoke and breezy, a high of 80. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson delivering his State of the City address for 2023 this afternoon, focusing on a theme of unity for Milwaukee.
We are one Milwaukee, and our shared desires for public safety, for equitable economic opportunity, and city services that serve the needs of every person in every neighborhood.
Mayor Johnson again reaffirming his support for the 2% sales tax as a way to avoid drastic cuts to city services.
The Milwaukee Common Council Steering and Rules Committee meeting today, getting the ball rolling on tackling the sales tax. The council also dissatisfied with the other provisions in the law restricting Milwaukee. State Representative Marisabel Cabrera testifying at the meeting.
I immediately started researching a whole lot on litigation because of that, because it's not only enshrined in our state statutes, but also in our state constitution that when it comes to legislation that is primarily local affairs, that it is left to the local governments.
The committee passed a resolution ordering a legal review of the provisions in the law relating specifically to the city.
Anderson Lee Aldrich, who killed 5 people inside an LGBTQ plus bar in Colorado Springs last November, pleaded guilty today and was sentenced to 5 consecutive life in prison terms without the possibility of parole. Shooting victims and family members of victims called the shooter a monster and a coward inside and outside the courtroom. Sabrina Aston spoke after the sentencing, the mother of Daniel Davis Aston, who lost his life in the shooting.
We're glad that this part of this journey is over. It's not going to bring Daniel back.
Aldrich pleaded no contest to 2 hate crimes.
A 7-year-old boy shot and wounded in Milwaukee overnight. Police say the boy was shot around 9:45 near 22nd and Orchard on the city's south side. The circumstances leading up to the shooting are still under investigation. However, Milwaukee police did confirm the boy's 37-year-old mother was taken into custody.
A condemned condo building in Waukesha could be torn down as soon as October. Residents were forced out of that condo building near downtown Waukesha in late 2021 after storms blew off chunks of fascia, unveiling structural issues in the high-rise. According to court filings, residents are still in court trying to get their insurance company to pay for demolition. If a decision doesn't come by the end of September, the city could tear it down, then charge condo owners through a tax lien.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:04.
Hey, join former NBA stars and Marquette basketball alumni Dwayne Wade and Travis Diener. They're coming back to Milwaukee this summer for Wade versus Diener, Champions for Literacy. Should be a good time at the Bog on July 24th. You can golf alongside the former NBA stars. All sorts of food and fun, great golf as well, while funding local youth literacy projects. If golf really isn't in your bag, you can check off the tee-off tailgate party the night before. That'll be at Discovery World downtown, July 23rd and 24th. Mark your calendar, get involved, and learn more at Wade versus Diener, Champions for Literacy. The website is wadevsdiener.givesmart.com.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's 4th of July sale is going on now. We're saluting the red, white, and blue with unbeatable deals on everything you need to celebrate outdoors. Like 20-pound bags of B&B Hickory Lump Charcoal. Buy one, get one half price. Assorted Technar Apex Zero-G hoses start at $34.99. New at Blaine's, save $12 by mail-in rebate on Valspar Accolade interior paint and get $200 off a 12-inch sliding DeWalt compound miter saw.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Yeah, that's who you say you are, but who are you really?
Weston.
I don't believe you. I also don't believe that Hasselus mattress showrooms have no employees. How is that even possible?
Come see for yourself. You can test out our mattresses without any salespeople breathing down your neck.
Sure, buddy, whatever you say.
That's how we're able to keep our prices way low. Our 34 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393. Free next day delivery, too.
I'm not buying it.
Well, if you are buying a new Beautyrest or Sealy Posturepedic mattress between now and Monday, we'll take an additional $200 off the already rock-bottom price.
So you're telling me all of this is true?
Yes.
Promise?
Promise.
Pinky?
Pinky.
Wow, you are serious.
Trade in your old mattress and save an additional $200 off a new Sealy Posturepedic or Beautyrest mattress through Monday at Hasselus. Find an employee-free showroom near you or at hasselus.com.
Gear up for a can't-miss week of summer baseball as the Brewers battle NL Central foes in the Cubs and Reds. Monday, July 3rd through Sunday, July 9th. It's a 4th of July week stacked with Brewers action. 2 divisional matchups and fun for the whole family with kids and seniors days. Plus Sesame Street Day at the ballpark on Saturday the 8th. Get your seats at brewers.com/promotions.
Off Mosquito Repellent, a clean feel so you can accessorize without mosquitoes. You can wear classic whites and jeans and know what you are covered with 8 hours of not sticky, fragrance-free protection. S.C. Johnson.
Celebrate a birthday, anniversary, or retirement this week with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill. Buy one dinner, get one free, 7 nights a week. Google Fox and Hounds restaurant and enjoy your free dinner.
You love her twice as much today as the day you married her, right?
Welcome to Kessler's.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Thanks for spending part of it with us here on this Monday afternoon. Another weekend, another festival, another bunch of fights, and some knuckleheads screw everything up again. This is like the third time in 2 weeks that a festival in Milwaukee has been disrupted by fights and chaos and nonsense. I hate to use the word nonsense or shenanigans because it almost minimizes it. It makes it sound goofy more than that this is a real problem. So here's the latest thing that happened. It was at Greek Fest at State Fair Park. So Saturday, things are rolling along. It becomes Saturday night, and a series of fights breaks out. Results in multiple arrests. Lots of people are kicked out of the festival. And it's so bad that in conjunction with State Fair Police, Greek Fest officials decide to close early because of fights on the festival grounds. So on Saturday evening, they actually shut it down before it was supposed to close. It was scheduled to close at 11 o'clock. They close it at 9. They say, everybody out. This is a dangerous situation. And they kick everybody out. They evaluate, and then they decide, you know what, on Sunday, it's supposed to close at 8. And instead, we're going to close at 6. And we're going to shut down the Midway. So no rides, and we're going to close early because of the chaos that happened last night, and because of the fights. At Greek Fest, they had people go through metal detectors. They had security. They had police on the grounds, and this happened. This, of course, comes in the wake of Juneteenth, which was a week ago today, where about this time, 1 week ago, police were on the scene after 6 people, I think it was, were shot at Juneteenth. A 15-year-old is now in custody. Once again, started by fights breaking out, purportedly between 2 groups of girls, and a shooting breaks out near MLK and Chambers, and so that festival was disrupted. That comes after police body cam footage captured fights breaking out at a Brookfield Church festival, the St. John Vianney Festival. They closed early. They rolled the Midway rides away because people weren't behaving at that festival. That was the middle of June. So 3 events in the last little more than 10 days where fights have disrupted what has happened.
3 family events.
Yeah, you're right. This is embarrassing. Not only is it scary, it's embarrassing. And by the way, as we continue to talk here, I want to give you the phone number. I want you to weigh in on your reaction to all this crap happening. The Old National Bank talk and text lines, 855-616-1620. 855-616-1620. Old National Bank, get old. Call us, send us a text. I would love to talk to some of you about how you're feeling, specifically if you live in the suburbs. One of these 3 events was in the suburbs. Check that. 2 of them were. The St. John Vianney one and obviously the one at State Fair Park, both in the suburbs, and then one in the heart of the city, the Juneteenth celebration. In my neighborhood, as we were talking about this, sitting around yesterday, I have people in my neighborhood who say, I'm not going anymore. And it's not just a I'm not going into the city thing anymore. This isn't about I'm boycotting Milwaukee. This is more of a I'm getting nervous to be at these sort of settings, whether it's in the city, at State Fair Park, at a Brookfield Church Festival, because that's where one of these happened. And my initial reaction when a guy said this was, come on, we're not going to stay at home. We got to be out. He said, well, I know if I stay at home, I'm not going to have some punk trying to start a fight on my deck. So I'm good right here. Okay, I get that. Then that made me sad. Like, is that where we are? And it seems like that is where we are. I know in my neighborhood it's real. It's not hyperbole. It's people saying, I'm just not, why? I'm not going to do it anymore.
And those are people observing. Now imagine if you were there with your kid in a stroller at Greek Fest and this chaos erupted. I think you only have to experience that once to get shaken up and go, oh, I don't want to deal with that again.
Well, these are people who didn't even deal with it and they're not going. Like they didn't even see it firsthand.
They're observing. Yeah.
And they're like, I'm not going.
There's one common theme in the events you mentioned. Greek Fest, State Fair does a Harvest Fest every fall, which is typically a lot of fun. The St. John Vianney Fest in Brookfield, that was pretty close to where I grew up. There's no admission price, right? You might walk through a metal detector and they may make sure nobody's got something they shouldn't be bringing in, and I applaud that. That's a good step for Greek Fest. They've never had to do that before, but now feel compelled to do so. But there's also no admission fee. It's an all-comers party. Come on in, right? Just be a part of it. My sense is that if there was an admission, you'd probably have fewer and fewer incidents. You'd probably have fewer people, perhaps. But that's seemingly, to me, a common theme in some of the disturbances we have. It's just a collection area for, you hear the word festival, you see party, you hear parade. Just open. Come on, do whatever you want. The law doesn't apply to you. And there might be metal detectors, but in these cases there weren't, with the exception of Greek Fest. But still, fists become a weapon and cause people to make alternate plans and shut the doors down early.
I think you raise a good point. If somebody has to pay $5 or $10 and they're going just to cause chaos, they maybe don't do that. They're going to save the $5 or $10. They're not going to pay $5 or $10 to go get kicked out of somewhere. But if it's free, it's a lot easier. Let's just go. Let's cause the problems. What do you think? 855-616-1620. I would love to hear from you out there. Is this impacted your behavior? Are you thinking about doing things differently? Are you thinking about not going to certain places or certain sorts of events because of what we've got going on? 855-616-1620. And I talked to somebody about this earlier today who lives in the city. So we hear all the time that, oh, well, suburban people this is people in the city that are also getting tired of this crap. It's like the common denominator for who doesn't want to go to things are if you're a person, because you don't want to put yourself in harm's way or run the risk of doing that. 855-616-1620. Here's what we're going to do. While Adam lines up the phone calls, and there are a lot of them coming in, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to take your calls. Join the conversation on the Old National Bank talk and text line, 855-616-1620. If you're on hold, stay there. We'll get to you up next.
Did you know just one blood donation can save up to 3 people's lives? Hi, WTMJ Sandy Max here. Please join me and our WTMJ Cares initiative to donate blood to those who need it the most. Join us on June 26th, 27th, and 28th as we partner with the American Red Cross and Gruber Law Offices for a blood drive at the Milwaukee County Zoo. Visit WTMJ.com or text BLOOD to 855-616-1620. You can make a difference with WTMJ Cares and me, Sandy Max.
WTMJ's John Mercure here for Griffin Chevrolet in Milwaukee. 15 new vehicles in stock right now, ready to deliver, and there are more every single day. Get a selection of new and pre-owned Chevrolet Camaros and Corvettes just in time for spring and summer. Griffin Chevrolet is your 2023 Silverado destination. Get up to $2,000 in dealer discounts right now. Check out the all-new 2024 Chevrolet Trax. My neighbor just got one of these. They are slick-looking. They're entry-level. They're a nice car. Check them out at griffinchevy.com or call the guys out there at Griffin to learn more today. It's the best sales, best service. The last vehicle we bought was a Blazer. It's beautiful, and we got it at Griffin Chevrolet. They've got the selection. They're going to take care of you. Right now, they're also offering a spring service special. Griffin will inspect and rotate your tires, check the battery and air filter, complete multi-point inspection, check your AC or your heat, change your wiper blades for $129.95. And Griffin always honors those who wear the uniform. If you're a first responder or in the military, show your badge or ID. Get 15% off on your next repairs. It's Griffin Chevrolet.
Where are we putting that money, and why are we putting it there? At Financial Strategies, you'll get answers to those questions to understand our approach. And the answers are going to be based on what we've learned about you. We're very engaged with our clients so that what we do for them fits their particular needs. But there are other things that we do that are equally important to the investment management portion of our services. I can't express how important it is to control the things you can control. At the end of the day, most investment managers will end up yielding similar overall returns. But knowing how to manage them wisely to avoid your nest egg being eaten away by the tax man, all legally of course, well, that's what I truly believe sets us apart. This is Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., and we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Traffic sponsored by Weniger Compressor, the Midwest air compressor experts. Visit pressureisoff.biz.
Servicing world-class Wisconsin manufacturers for 9 decades. Contact Weniger Compressor at pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor.
Traffic and weather, then your calls on all these fights breaking out at festivals all over the place. Hey, Debbie, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. Well, we've got an accident now, 94 eastbound, right at the ramp from Hawley Road. Looks like the right lane is blocked with that. So watch out for those delays. They're still working on this other accident on the 35th Street on-ramp to 94 eastbound, too. So that area is not going to be the best at the moment. Southbound 41 slowing down from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Southbound 43 slowing down from Hampton all the way down past almost to North Avenue. The northbound side is definitely slowing down from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for tonight. Showers are going to end, a low of 61 degrees. Tomorrow, decreasing clouds, breezy, a high of 83, but it will be hazy because that wildfire smoke. On Wednesday, sunny, 83. On Thursday and Friday, both days, a chance for rain. Both days, highs about 84 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, it's hazy and 66 degrees. Greek Fest closes down early on Saturday and Sunday because of a bunch of fights that break out. They had metal detectors, they had police on the scene, and still, people got arrested, other people got kicked out, and they shut down. I'm not ready to say I'm done going to stuff yet. I'm just not going to let that happen. But I do find myself thinking about it, especially at night. If my wife were to say she was going with girlfriends, I would think about it and have concerns. What do you think? Let's go to the phones. Let's start with Mike, who's in Lake Geneva. Mike, good afternoon. You're on WTMJ.
Hey, John. Thanks for having me. To say it's sad is really the understatement. But, just looking at the economics, Milwaukee and the surrounding area, they want to bring in, the sales dollars, the tax income, that sort of thing. But, stuff like this is just going to drive people away. And unfortunately, it's going to be an economic downward spiral where, they're not going to get that tax base if they aren't addressing the root problem and holding people accountable.
Are you more likely to go to an event there in Lake Geneva than you are to come up and go to one in Milwaukee?
Yes.
Is it just economics and convenience, or is there a safety factor in that for you?
Both.
Mike, thanks for the phone call. We appreciate it. Tina's in Waukesha. Tina, good afternoon. You're on WTMJ.
Hi, good afternoon.
What do you think?
So we stopped going to State Fair after 5 p.m., probably about 8 years ago, when we had a fight break out in front of us, and we had our small daughter was with us. And I don't feel safe there, especially around the Midway with the fights. And as much as I think you're right about an admission fee maybe would be a deterrent to some of these, I'll call them chuckleheads. There's an admission fee to State Fair, and that hasn't solved the problem. So we're careful about what we go to, and I'll be honest, I'm probably not going to let my kids, who are now teenagers, go to events like church festivals at night without me.
Hey, Tina, thank you for the phone call, and thanks for listening to the show. Dennis is in Milwaukee. Dennis, good afternoon. You're on WTMJ.
Good afternoon, John. There's no easy answers to this situation, but I think a large part of the problem rests on the judiciary. If there are no consequences for bad behavior, you're going to have more bad behavior. And I'm not advocating locking up these perpetrators for 5 or 10 years, but there should be some consequences for their action. And I'm convinced right now there aren't. I think in a lot of cases, the judges just release these youngsters back to their parents, and there's no real consequences.
Thank you for the phone call. I want to get to Todd here, who's in Brookfield. Todd, good afternoon. You're on WTMJ.
Hi, good afternoon. Thanks for the call. I used to go to the Greek Fest when I was on 92nd off of Congress there, and we used to go there and have some fun, and found out that there was some trouble there. We never saw the trouble there, but I know that's why they moved it over the Greek Fest over to State Fair Park, and then it seems like the trouble just follows it over there. I was at the the Brookfield St. John Vianney days, and I know there are some fights that broke out. I'll still go. It's my parish, but seems like it's after dark.
Yep.
It just seems that's where some comes along, and it's just I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah. Hey, Todd, thank you. Mike Stavropoulos is with us. He's one of the chairmen of Greek Fest, and he is with us live on WTMJ. Hey, Mike, thanks for making some time for us.
Absolutely. I appreciate you shining some light on these issues.
You did all the right things. You have metal detectors. You had police there. You worked with local authorities, and still this happened. Is this just a couple knuckleheads, or is this a bigger issue than that?
I think it's knuckleheads, which is a big issue. I want to make sure I thank the law enforcement. We were proactive. They were just fantastic to work with, and I want to thank everybody who came out with their families to enjoy. We try to share our culture and our food with people and raise funds for our missions and all the good people. I am known to focus on everything good. So are there knuckleheads? Yes, there are. I heard you talking about charging a cover. We would love to do something like that and be also very conscious of the families that will be impacted by having to pay. You bring a family of 5 or 6, and what's that cover charge going to be? So we have a lot of thinking to do. We're going to pray about it. We're going to be grateful for the people that came out. We're grateful in every way, but definitely going to realign things to see how we can keep everyone safe.
What went into the decision, Mike, to shut down early on Saturday, and then what went into the decision to do it again on Sunday? Was that a difficult decision?
It wasn't difficult. It's always difficult because you don't want to impact all the things that I'm sure you know come along with it. But the decision was quick, and we had talked about it and made the decision because we are so grateful that there were no injuries, and just so grateful. So my point is, tough decision, but quick decision, not indecisive whatsoever. Sunday, quite honestly, we just weren't sure what was going to happen the later it got. And I'm a person that always talks about being proactive, not reactive. So all of it was just being proactive.
Mike, to your knowledge, what was the first year that metal detectors were installed at the festival?
This is the first year, and it was State Fair Police and George Papachristou, who's our head of security for our parish, were proactive and said, this is the first year. We're going to implement this, and as you can imagine, it's also going to affect the cost of doing business next year. So, it was the first time ever, and they did a great job. I was so grateful that they were there.
Do you envision another level of security will be required for your festival next year?
I really don't. I mean, I don't know what level. We really have to sleep on it, literally still cleaning up today. We're going to sleep on it and make a well-thought-out decision. We want to be thoughtful, about what we do and how we do it.
How much was the bottom line impacted by having to close early on both Saturday and Sunday?
I was definitely impacted, percentage-wise. I don't even know until we do the final numbers. But more of the impact was the good people that were impacted was the biggest frustration. The money comes and goes. To me, it's seeing families that were impacted, that were there to have a good time, and how do we keep them safe? That's our biggest concern, not the money.
Mike, what would you say are the emotions that are at the top of the list when you think about what happened out there on Saturday night for you personally?
For me personally, gratitude. Gratitude to God for keeping us safe.
Mike Stavropoulos is the chairman for Greek Fest. Well, thanks for doing just that. Like you said, Mike, no one was injured, and that's the most important takeaway. Thank you. We appreciate you being with us.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Have a good day.
It is 5:27 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The S&P off 19, the Dow off 13, the NASDAQ off 156. Annex Wealth Management know the difference.
Legend has it, Spanish conquistador Ponce de Leon searched for the legendary Fountain of Youth. This wellspring had the power to restore new life to anyone who drank from it. Poor Ponce chased this miracle from Florida to Bimini and back without any success. Eric Smith here, and yes, the secret to a longer life can be, well, elusive. Unless that is, you know exactly where to look. When it comes to your home's air conditioner, the gurus at Austin Plumbing, Heating, and Air hold the secret treasure map. The magic here is in training and expertise. We won't bang on your AC with a broom, tell you everything's hunky-dory, and then take your money. Instead, we'll take your machine apart, examine it, lubricate it, restore it back to factory specifications. Basically, explore ways your air conditioner can be more energy efficient so you can experience worry-free, cool comfort all summer. In the quest for your air conditioner's fountain of youth, book a revitalizing tune-up from Austin Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Online at teamaustin.com.
R&R Insurance does an exceptional job providing employee benefits to all of us here at Good Karma Brands. About this time of year, companies start planning for fall open enrollment. Here's Jeff Selesinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Hi, Vince. Healthcare costs continue to rise, and businesses can act now to help control costs. To optimize your premium dollars, businesses need data and other benchmarking insights to help you gauge how competitive your employee benefits program is in the marketplace. You should not have to be a Fortune 100 company to gain access to your data and other benchmarking reports that can save your business money.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?